Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.
We're live from Arrow Arena, Saturday afternoon, matinee basketball action. The Madison Rams come in at 7-11, 6-5 in the OCC to oppose the Ashland Arrows at 13-4, 9-1 in the OCC. What's today mean? Well, today means it may be the first time in 30 years that these ladies hang an OCC conference title, an outright conference title, on the banner inside Arrow Arena. I'm Chris Mowry. Brandon Wells going to join me, and Steve Paramore, the superintendent, as well. You're listening to watching, thanks, BW.
You got it.
The Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. And you're joining us in the pregame show presented by Ashland Eye Care. A little script change. We're going to go with the Wickham and Hess halftime guest. That's going to be the superintendent. He's going to join us, talk about some building realignment, some other things. Presented by Wickham and Hess, Plan, Grow, Thrive offices in Ashland. Check out Aaron Bates and the like. BW, good to have you today, buddy.
Glad to be here. Listen, we're coming off of a tough loss on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Because my days are starting to run together. And what a great game Thursday night. You know, we were all here for it, and the Arrows had an opportunity to clinch on Thursday. New Philly showed up, veteran team, and a young Aubrey Wells as well.
She good.
And they showed up really good. And so that was a tournament-style game, and I think the Arrows, I talked with Coach Holt a little bit and said, you know, there's a lot to learn, and often more to learn from a loss. At least it's easier to get your message across as a coach. And so people tend to listen better after a loss of like, oh, what do we need to correct? But, you know, great game on Thursday and an opportunity to take on Madison, who has had some success this year. They're 6-5 in the OCC and 7 wins overall. So, but a big crowd already assembling here. And, you know, we brought in the superintendent to talk about some things going on in the school district, some really neat things going on.
Yeah, we absolutely did. Before we get to Steve, I hope that the community replicates what was here Thursday night. We got the jazz band today, which is absolutely awesome, but this place was packed, Steve. There was, I said on air, probably 750 people plus inside Arrow Arena for a girls contest. I'm sure that's never happened, at least that I've been around, that's happened with that many people watching the girls.
No, it was amazing. We had a lot of alumni here. As I look across at the banner, there are 4 years on our girls basketball banner, and you look at all the other banners, and there's multiple years. So I think it was an opportunity for our girls to experience something bigger than them.
Yeah.
Right? One of our core values is nobody's bigger than the organization. And so I think it was their first learning opportunity to play for something that's bigger than just another conference game. It afforded them the opportunity to see how many people are behind them that don't come to every game, that don't watch every broadcast that you guys do. I bet that was a pretty high volume of people that watched it.
Last I checked, it was about 1,000,
right,
which was the highest for either girls or guys, I believe, this year.
CBS said that the ratings were high.
Dan Chandler told us.
He's been checking.
He privy to the numbers. You're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, to look across and see Dan McFadden and Rick Hurst there, the guys that were the last winning coaches of an OHC crown at the time, back in '95. I was in 8th grade, so Just a cool moment. Everybody was engaged. Everybody was on the edge of their seat, and that's how sports is, right? You live for those moments. You question that with athletes, right? All of us have been around really, really good athletes, and when the lights are the brightest, how prepared are you for that? So the girls got to experience that. That's what we hope to do when we educate kids, when we love them, when we nurture them, when we coach them, is to prepare them for those most crucial moments in their life. And obviously, that's not a life-defining moment, right? These girls are going to go beyond this and become great ladies and ambassadors for whatever they do. But those are the things that start to mold you as a human being. So to have all that support around them, like there wasn't anybody at the end of the game that wasn't just like, I'm just jetting out the door. Like people stay and they just kind of revel in what a moment it was. And yeah, it went to overtime. Wasn't like we lost by 15. A loss is a loss.
Yep.
Nobody enjoys those, but you're very right, Brandon.
Yeah.
I think more was learned in that. You asked the greatest athletes in the world. They learn more from failing than they learn from success.
Well, that's one of the reasons, I work in a career center, right, at Ashland University. One of the questions we often ask, I always ask in mock interviews, is tell me a time where you failed and what you learned from it. And it's one of those opportunities for them to look back. And I have a lot of student athletes come into my office, and often I will tell them, you're able to use a story that is from the athletic field in the athletic arena, and you're right. Yeah. A growth opportunity.
The sense of pride was huge. I mean, that's probably more than anything. I reflected on that to our entire staff yesterday. I usually have a weekly Friday email. It was just gratitude of how proud we were of those young ladies, of that coaching staff, and more than anything, how proud I was of the community to come out. And these are arrows that live in other communities now that made their way here. I mean, social media is a beautiful thing some days, and the word got out. Yeah. And I think there were more people here because they saw that, oh, by the way, I used to play for the Arrows. I'm gonna come out because they might. I had a lot of comments on my way out going, man, the gym looks great. Yeah. Beyond what they experienced tonight, and so it just kind of makes you think, boy, they haven't been here in a while.
Well, and the truth is, some of that, honestly, the growth of women's basketball in the last 4 or 5 years with Caitlin Clark and some of those folks has kind of led to a lot more folks being interested in understanding it's a great game. It's a little different than the boys' game, but it's a fantastic game and just equally as good, just different. So, yeah, glad to have you here. Superintendent Steve Paramore joining us here in the Arrows booth and the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Right now, the JV finishing up here. It's a tight one down there, and it's a pretty intense atmosphere already for a JV girls game right now.
Well, what I said on air, and I totally believe this, those are also aspects of life. Pressure's a privilege, right? Like, whether you're in sales or your relationship or whatever it is, if you feel pressure, it means you care about it, right? It means you give a damn and you want to succeed. And this moment on Thursday, and they're going to have again this moment on Saturday afternoon for these ladies, they're going to play with pressure again. Whether it's from home or their community, their classmates, whatever it is, and that's a gift. Like, you don't go to the store at Walmart and say, hey, give me some pressure. I want to buy it for $4.99. Like, you have to earn it. And that's what they've done. We'll see if they can't capitalize today. They got a chance to hang a banner for the first time in 30 years. Let's put the superintendent hat on. You're going to stick around, call some hoops with us and talk shop here. But what's new in the district?
Well, we are coming off of a week where we had a lot of extreme cold, so kind of got back into the swing of things officially from Christmas break this week. It was a full week. We are currently starting to formulate. You get to the point in this year where, we're not too far from the musical, so that's something people look forward to.
Footloose.
It's kind of crunch time for Footloose.
Can't wait for that.
And you start to think about, and obviously this year in our district, we're looking ahead at, the age of our staff, right? We have many teachers that are now retirement eligible. Like, you don't want to see anybody go. No. But you also have to start to prepare. So we also always, Kyle Klingler does a great job of formulating our 5-year financial forecast. We've been a very healthy district financially for a long time. That's through good stewardship from boards. Obviously, Brandon being a board member, Zach Truax, so I saw him Thursday night.
First basketball attendant for the voice of the Falcons this year.
That's true. That's true. Short sleeve shirt.
Oh, yeah, he's ready to go.
He was
showing
ready
the
to go.
guns. He's showing the guns. That's why.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we obviously hat tip to Dr. Mara for his leadership in giving us opportunities. We've had great facilities built. We've kept a financial sound budget, but as we look into the future, honestly, the state is not going to fund public education the way you would think they would, and, for whatever reason. So we see some reduction in state funding. So we have to adjust, right? We have to adjust. We have low enrollment right now at our primary grades. I couldn't point my finger on it, but we've got to adjust with how many staff members we have. We're going to be able to do that through attrition. So wearing my superintendent hat here today at a basketball game, I want to confidently tell all the listeners in our community out there, nobody ever wants to get rid of a position or get rid of really awesome employees, but we're going to be able to do it, and we're lucky to do it through attrition, or through retirement, or through somebody maybe that is going to take a different venture and no longer be with Ashland City Schools. So we're there. I mean, we have the smallest kindergarten class we've ever had, 185 kindergartners.
Wow.
So a little bit of, you kind of have homeschooling that affects that. You have private and parochial that affects that with the voucher program. The state and the federal government now are giving more and more money to individuals that want to go private, and that's fine. I don't get in the middle of that. I'm going to market Ashland City Schools.
Yeah, we're two public school kids up here.
Yeah, so so that's kind of where we're at.
That was a shot at me, just to be clear. If you've never joined in, that was a shot at me, who went to public school K through 8 and a public college, but 9 through 12 happened to go to a private school that my parents forced me to go to.
Yeah. So welcome. Really, it does align well with our primary reconfiguration, making Reagan a pre-K through first grade building, and then Edison will be a second and third grade building. We've done that from Taft Intermediate on.
Well, we're watching the JV
Wilson
here.
Second.
We've got a foul call. That's going to send an arrow to the line, I bet, with 1.4 on the clock. 31-30, Madison has the lead. We'll see if the Bailey Hartman's going to take the toss this year at the county manufacturing stripe.
Well, yeah, Coach Joe called his last time out to set up the defense, and then Madison comes down and scores, and now Bailey Hartman, who's an impressive, I think, sophomore, on this JV squad, has a chance to win the ball game.
I hope it's not karma because Rickard didn't get you a roster.
Oh, that one's heavy.
Oh!
Yeah, pressure's a privilege, Bailey. Just remember that. All right, so I'm sure Ashland County Pictures hasn't been lit up with this building realignment or any of the other social media. So what's going on with that? I figured we'd give you a time here. I know you went on the YouTube channel and talked about it, but what's it mean? What are you doing with the buildings? How's it, being repurposed and so on?
So at the State of the Schools and Reconfiguration presentation that we did on January 22nd at Archer Auditorium, which is filmed and on the Ashland City Schools Broadcast Network, so it can be watched until we decide to take it down, which probably won't be till next year's State of the Schools. So basically what we did is we talked about all the successful things that each individual building is doing, from our leaders at Edison and Reagan, their volunteerism, and that's being led by the building principals in both those buildings. The Arrow to Arrow Mentor program is huge right now.
Sure,
it's been very impactful to every level of our district, and it's something we're very proud of. We're very proud of Kim Rogers and Ryan Briggs, who have led that, and Kim's one of our retirees that's going to be leaving us this year. So we're very indebted for all of her service over the years. She's in attendance tonight, probably here watching.
You got to figure out how to take care of the thrill at home, Will.
That's fair. That's fair.
Thrill.
Obviously, Ashland High School a year ago was rated in the top high schools in the country for all the great things that they do. So we're proud of that. The middle school is doing a lot of different things with coming off of a literacy grant, and we're just continually working on building trust at that. That's the most unique grade level, right? Those 11 through 14-year-olds. So getting that staff through the year with a difficult clientele, there's a lot of great moments, but there's a lot of moments where you're teaching life lessons to kids that isn't always just about education. So I really showcased those middle school staff members of what they go through daily, and we're very appreciative of them and the 3 administrators that are at that building. So when we got to the reconfiguration part, it's not so much a mystery that, we want to create arrows from as early of a moment that they step foot on our campuses as possible. So having all of their peers from kindergarten, because you can't guarantee that they're going to use our preschool, and you can't guarantee because they use our preschool that they're necessarily not like a Hillsdale student or a Northwestern student. And our preschool is 50% students with disabilities, so it's also a unique setting that we utilize that. So from kindergarten on now in our district, you're going to have all of those arrows being cultivated. They're going to know their peers. They're going to hang out with each other at recess. They're going to have birthday parties together, right? You have a bit of a separation right now with Edison and Reagan just because they're in two different parts of the city.
Well, when my kids got to Taft, after being in Reagan, when Henry especially, there was this who are those Edison kids? Like, I don't know those kids at Edison, and it was the same way for all of my kids.
Yeah, you don't do mixers at the primary level. So that's really a big part of it. But also, we really had staff members that they'd get together 3 times a year to do some alignment things and some PD, but it really stuck out to me. There were some functions that they went to, and they didn't really. They don't have to go to dinner together, but I just want them all to realize that if you have 9 kindergarten teachers or 10 kindergarten teachers, we all have the same goal. We all come from different places. We all have different personalities, but we're all going to work towards the same goal. And teacher A's strategy could very much help teacher C's strategies, or if somebody's really good at handling a specific type of student, I think those ideas, that collaboration is going to be easier to share now, all being in the same building. So that's really the kind of the premise of it. And then you get to the logistics, right? That's where it really hits home.
Operations and logistics,
Yeah, with our families, right? What if I have a kiddo that's now going to be at Reagan, Edison, and Taft? Or, I have a high school or middle school kid, they get dropped off at 7:40. But today it's 2025. Nobody's going to walk to school anymore. And every parent wants to watch their kids safely enter the building. Now,
I was reading about the shuttles. Is that where you're getting? Right.
We currently you have 1,600 students in our district that use our school transportation.
1,600 use school transportation.
So that could go upwards as to technically about 1,900 if you drop your kindergartner off at Reagan at the start of next school year. You could also drop your 3rd and 5th grader off there, and they can catch a shuttle bus and get to school on time, and you don't have to worry about fighting traffic on Main Street to get to Edison.
Or to go to 3 different schools.
And some people are navigating that right now, and I think that was their initial worry, and I am confidently telling them, trust us. The school bus, every once in a while gets its stereotypes, rightfully so, but, they're as safe as riding in your car. And honestly, they may be safer from the sheer fact that we've got audio and video. We have cameras on our on our stop signs, right? So if somebody runs the reds of a bus, we can call the police, and that's been a hit with a lot of people that like to skip a sign. So we were able to show actually digitally mastered graphics with how the buses go through the loop, and how a car that has kiddos that need to be dropped off for the shuttle, what that looks like. And those are all on that video on the Ashland City Schools Broadcast Network. And I kind of think maybe it wasn't certainly well attended because we put a blooms out that said, hey, it'll be on YouTube.
Right.
So it was cold out. I'm sure people were staying home. They watch, and they can watch it at any point now. But next school year doesn't hit people till about August 1st, and then they start thinking about, man, I got to get my kid to school,
then you get
or
the
my multiple kids to school. And so, we didn't do it to create havoc for those families in the morning that just drop their kids off. I mean, anybody that's had to sit in a drop-off loop or a pickup loop, I mean, I think it's even comical because you'll follow. You remember Jay Cutler, the quarterback of the Bears?
Yeah,
he did a video one time. He does like a progressive video of him picking his kids up at school. It's pretty hilarious, but you got to have some extreme patience sometimes because it just doesn't move super fast.
Well, and
this might,
right, but this year will be the transition after everybody kind of picks it up. And I'm sure there's going to be some things that we're going to learn you know, and we'll keep working at it and getting better at it, I'm sure. But yeah, everybody's just gonna. We want them to know what's happening, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the time is now, right? That's a decision that myself and my administrative team and the board collectively all landed on and felt comfortable with doing it now. It had been a conversation back when Reagan was built to make that originally a pre-K through first grade building, but I think folks were still trying to hang on to that neighborhood essence. Like, at the end of the day, I could count on two hands the kids that walk to Reagan, and they either live on Luray or Jackson or possibly on, is that Ashland Avenue that East Main Hair Design is on?
Yeah, close enough.
Sloan's, man, that's a maybe.
Maybe,
that's
yeah.
a maybe.
But you're right, not many.
I like where your head's
walk,
at.
yeah.
I'd encourage all of them to walk.
Yeah.
You know,
good for them, right? Yeah, we walked uphill both ways in the snow when we were growing up.
I mean, I cancel when it's cold, right? So
I'll tell you
No
this.
comment.
You know, when I was growing up, we went to, obviously I grew up in Hayesville. We went to Hayesville until 4th grade. Well, if you grew up in Jayville, you went to Jayville until 6th grade. And I'm telling you, even in a small school, we didn't have, cell phones back then. You didn't know some of those kids, and you're in a little itty-bitty school district with 2 stoplights until you go over there in 5th grade. And there was no bigger competition than trying to beat the tar out of those Jayville kids.
Oh, when I grew up in the Falls, we had neighborhood elementary schools.
But we went to school with those kids. I know that's what you're saying,
But not until junior high.
I know.
And we played basketball
That's
against
the
those
point.
kids, and everybody. I mean, we hated those kids from Richardson.
Yeah.
At DeWitt, we hated.
So you play organized
back in
sports
the
in
day.
7th grade for the first time at football practice, and you're like, well, I just want to hit him harder than I want to hit the kid from Smithville. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. So, it was
funny.
well overdue, and they start going together, and their classmates and whatnot. It's great.
Just so you all know out there, if you've joined us online, the JV game went to overtime. Bailey Hartman split the pair and sent it to overtime. The Arrows JV girls down 2 with a minute to go out there. So at some point, the varsity girls game was supposed to start around now, and we'll get to it eventually. But we're talking with Superintendent Steve Paramore right now about district reconfiguration and other things going on in the district as well. Brandon Wells, Chris Mowry, and the superintendent up here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth.
shout out, it is Youth Day today.
It is.
So,
there's a lot of folks out there.
It's great to see our young Arrow basketball players on the ladies' side. So we talked earlier about Coach Lance Levesque. His daughter Lakin plays. I know he's coaching, and I saw maybe a young Emmons walking around in here. Yeah. So
there's a few of those floating around.
Little Emmons in 8th grade can really go. We'll see if he's got that left-handed jumper down.
And then
there's Lance and company and some of those youth folks.
Yeah, Matt Worster's daughter. I know I saw a picture of her on Instagram today from when the JV game started. So on my pre-drive over here was checking out the Ashland High School girls basketball Instagram handle. I'm wondering if maybe Mrs. Lacey handles that.
I'm not certain if she does.
That would be my guess, but I don't know.
The Twitter page needs to get rectified. The one I tag every time when I post the announcement, there's not much activity on that Twitter handle.
When was the last post on it?
Like 2019.
Yeah,
or
I think
2020.
actually Dave Swartz had access to it at one point because he was the head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever made that transfer, so who knows? Yeah,
the Sarver Paving student section, I'm glad to see right down here a couple Ashland High School boys basketball players that are in attendance. Good for those guys.
Yeah, maybe a morning shoot around. Reed probably got a couple reps in the simulator today.
Yeah, fact. I think he needs to get on Dennis North's radar there at AU.
Already, he's already there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll help with that recruiting, no problem. He's
D North.
His ceiling is incredibly high, and there's a lot of leverage when you're 6'3". So
yeah, I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either. Just try to find the center of the face 5 times around anymore. But I still got the flat stick in the bag, and that usually gets a little bit dangerous.
Equalizer.
That's absolutely right. You can smack it around 3 times, Wells, and get it on the green and still make an 8-footer.
Drive for dough. No, drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah.
The old school phrase.
Yeah, all my friends growing up, they thought it was drive for dough. And
well, if you're in one of the long drive competition. Steve, what's the longest you've ever hit a ball off the tee?
Well, I mean, if you
people want to know.
If you count roll, I do remember being at the Duke University golf course, and their 18th hole is, their 9th hole is a par 5 that if you get it out there about 3:05, it goes down a ski slope, so and it rolls for about 120. So
okay,
I got one down there on a dry day. We used to play in the Duke Classic every year in college, and got one down there over the precipice of the hill. So,
you ever been to Cameron for a basketball game, by the way?
I've been to Cameron when there wasn't a basketball game in there.
So small. It's much smaller than people understand.
It is. It's pretty low to the ground. It's kind of a sardine box, but right, like they will never change that for the world. They won't change that kids camp out in front of it.
It's awesome.
And it is. I mean, and if you get a chance, I'd encourage anybody out there right now to watch Cooper Flagg, because he is
first pick in the draft.
He is an elite player, and he is not going to be in college very long.
That three-pointer by Madison should wrap it up. It's a 6-point ball game out there right now here in the JV game. So
that turnover is certainly going to wrap it up.
Arrows are going to lose this one 38-32 in the JV game. You're watching the Countdown to Tip-Off pregame show presented by Ashland Eye Care. We'll take a break and be right back after this.
Is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come to the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland. Official watch location every Friday during the Arrows football season.
We're back inside Arrow Arena, 15 minutes on the pregame clock. You're joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, and you're joining us on the pregame show. Countdown to tip-off, presented by Ashland Eye Care. Proud AHS alum Dan Denbo will handle all of your vision needs. We got the Jazz Band in attendance. We're going to have twice today, BW. You and I got a long day. We'll be back here for the boys' game after the girls wrap up this evening. But we got a chance to do something really special. I'm Chris Mallory. Brandon Wells, bring him in a second. The Superintendent Steve Paramore joining us. Guys, we've got a chance, Brandon, I'll start with you, to hang a banner for the first time in 30 years.
Well, we had an opportunity on Thursday and fell just short in overtime against a very good New Philadelphia Quakers squad. And tonight, or today I should say, it's a second chance. And the Arrows only need to win this one or the next one against Mansfield Senior. But it'd be nice to take care of this at home. Big crowd already here on hand. They played really well on Thursday. Got off to a great start, guys. But you know, New Philly, a veteran squad, came back and made a run, and we just came up a little bit short, turned the ball over a little too much against the pressure, down the stretch. But, hey, today's a new day, right?
Turn the leaf forward.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And we talked about it earlier in the postgame, or the pregame show, rather. There's a lot to learn from losing. And the Arrows have an opportunity to learn and come out today. If you're Madison, guys, you probably watched Thursday's tape, right? You're thinking, okay, maybe there's a formula to how we can take down this Arrows squad, because that was the first loss in conference play.
I think New Philly threw a zone at us. We started shooting the ball pretty well. I think towards the end of the game, what was unfortunate is, obviously with the change in the rules a couple years ago, the way the foul penalty comes into play, neither team had, I think there was like one foul on the board with about 2 minutes left in the game. So when you have a tight game at that, you're kind of on that precipice of, do I start trying to commit fouls? And then we got to the minute mark, and we were down two, right?
Yeah.
And I think the very nature of our girls is to attack, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think one thing that our coaching staff probably is starting to preach more and more is we've got to have some clock management and some possession management when we get some of the larger leads, which is very impressive. The Arrows got out to a very impressive lead.
21-7.
21-7, and then obviously it was like 21-13. We didn't score a lot of points in the second quarter, unfortunately.
Right.
So at halftime, they were a little closer, and then they went on a very nice run in the start of the third quarter Thursday night. So not the result you wanted Thursday night. Great atmosphere, something that everybody will remember and learn from it.
Let's get a quick look at the Arrows' record and conference standing inside the OCC. We talked about these Arrows having an opportunity to win this conference outright today. BW, what's the standings look like?
Well, Ashland still sitting atop, right? I mean, 9-1. They're down after the loss, but they're still up atop. New Philly 8-3. They've got one more in-conference game. Lexington at 6-4, Madison 6-5, West Holmes also at 6-5. They've had a nice rally here of late, and then Senior and Worcester having tough seasons this year, down at the bottom with just one win in the OCC. But the Arrows 13-4, best record they've had in a long, long time. And Coach Renee Holt was pretty happy. Just that, hey, we only had one day between games, right? That the beauty of the way this schedule set up was that you played Thursday, off day yesterday, and now you're back. But this is a tough stretch of games, guys. Arrows are playing a lot of games in a short amount of time, some due to some snow.
I think it was, 6 games in 12 days or 14 days or something?
A couple of those are due to snow and reschedule, and that happens. But that puts a little wear and tear. We'll talk about keys to the game a little bit later, but I know you want to thank our generous sponsors out there today.
We do it at the forefront of the broadcast every time. Thanks to Sarver Paving, Hedstrom, Ashland Eye Care, Whitaker Myers, Priest Dental, Wickham and Hess, South Street Grill, Goldberry Roasting, Andrew Bush, Law Office, Chandler Systems, Inc., Truly Inspired Paper Company, Valley Transportation, Linway Restaurant, Simonson Construction, Bill Harris Dealerships. I saw Matty D had a 2025 Stingray for sale, $8,000 off if you're in the market for a Corvette. Check him out. Frank Smith Insurance, Condry Manufacturing, BB&C Car Care, Coldwell Banker Ward Real Estate, Janney Truax Printing, and Poe Lacey Construction.
I say dilly.
Dilly. It might be a weird look. It might be a weird look if the superintendent pulled in a Stingray. But hey, you do you, my friend. I would love to drive a Stingray.
Rear engine these days on those Corvettes.
What's that mean? A rare engine? Rear engine?
Yeah, the boot is in the front.
What do you mean boot?
The boot's the trunk, son.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you've never been to Europe, I understand. Hey, you know where you can watch all Arrow Athletics?
I've been to Europe multiple times, just to be clear.
Chris,
and
I know.
I'm giving you a hard
South
time.
Street Grill.
You can watch all Arrow Athletics at the South Street Grill in the lower level bar area. Our special thanks to Sean and Carly Little and their team for showing these broadcasts. They've been with us for football. They've been with us for basketball, and most likely going to be with us again for baseball. So super, super big thank you to those guys. We're super excited to have them on. And who knows, BW, maybe the pregame or preseason show for baseball going to be on the patio there in the South Street Grill in late March.
I think that would be fantastic. Although late March, it could be 75 or it could be 35 and snowing. So it's kind of up in the air, but we're going to try to make that happen. And the Rick Goff-led Ashland Arrow baseball squad should be pretty decent this year.
Alex Grissinger looking forward to the preview show. He sees Mama Mallory in the stands at these contests and asks her about once every 2 games, hey, is Chris going to reach out to me about the preview show? So these guys are all looking forward to that, which is really awesome. Hey, let's get a quick look at Pave the Way Forward, the JV contest brought to us by Sarver Paving in North Central Ohio, covering that area for over 75 years. Madison comes from behind in overtime and beats these Arrows 38-32. So the JV squad goes down by 6 to Madison. It was really fueled by a late three-pointer with about 8 seconds left.
Yeah, Madison started putting some full-court pressure on us in that game for most of it, and that we did struggle a little bit with it. But we'll learn from that as well. Bailey Hartman played a nice game. She's going to be a nice varsity player going forward.
Injury report brought to us by Goldberry Roasting, Ashland's locally owned and award-winning coffee shop right here in Ashland. You got a Yeti, BW.
I do, except this is not a Goldberry Yeti yet.
I know that Cooper's watch these broadcasts, and they have just went like field mice and just kind of been quiet.
They've got some fantastic stuff over there. You know, you also, it's not just coffee over there, to be clear. They've got some great
Danish
biscotti.
Biscotti.
Wow.
They've got biscotti. I know you can't spell it, but they do
Never
have it.
expected that.
It
to be
tastes
talked about
good.
on this
Yeah.
broadcast.
Well, it's a long pregame here. Let's
clearly
just be
haven't
honest.
watched enough of these broadcasts.
They've got bagels from Woo Bagels out of Worcester. Well, it's maybe the best
Worcester
thing.
bagels?
Maybe the best thing to ever come out of Worcester. What I would tell any entrepreneurs out there that are listening or watching, and our sponsors, maybe a bagel shop here in Ashland, just straight bagel shop would be awesome. But nonetheless, they have the Worcester bagels Wells over there at at Goldberry. Glad to have him on board.
I'm Chris Mowry, joined alongside by Brandon Wells and Steve Paramore. You're joining us from the Freestyle broadcast booth. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the other side.
Great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
We got a huge one for you inside Arrow Arena this afternoon. The Lady Arrows host the Lady Rams from Madison. The Arrows have an opportunity to hang a banner on the wall, an outright conference crown for the first time. This is not a stutter. This is not made up. In 30 years. Kennedy Lacey is our AHS player profile, brought to us by our law offices at Andrew Bush. And Kennedy's favorite memory, BW, just like all of them, whether it's the locker room or the bus rides, she's a fan of the bus rides. Favorite pro team, how about this? The Miami Dolphins. She must like Tyreek Hill's speed, Steve.
I think she likes Ray Finkel. Potentially. He was a great kicker.
Done.
You got to be careful the next couple comments I'd make about that.
She likes video games, Mario. She wants to win the OCC title. That was her goal, and she has an opportunity along with her team to do that tonight. Her favorite class is
Parlez-vous français?
Français.
Parlez-vous français, Greece?
Emily in Paris is where I was going with it.
Shout out to Mrs. Marenko and Mrs. Snyder that teach French at Ashland High School. So
yeah. My daughter loved those teachers as well. She took French here and just absolutely loved it. The Arrows here, Chris, an opportunity to win the OCC. And you talked a little bit about Kennedy Lacey and Cam Cox. Cam Cox, not her best game on Thursday. Expect a big bounce back. She played a really tough post player in Ava Reeson from New Philly, who kind of was really physical, a little bigger, a little stronger.
She good.
And she played really well on Thursday. I expect a big game and bounce back from Cam here today.
You know, the one thing I wanted to take a second to highlight, you know, I said this on air, Brandon, it's almost like you and I have kind of grown with this team as we've started covering them last year, and we were in the midst of a lot of losing, right? And then we went on a huge run there, and you can see Coach Holt on screen right here. Her playing days legendary at Crestview at AU, and now head coach of these Arrows. But in 22-23, this squad went 4-19. 4 wins. Last year, 9-14. Jimmy Haslam, I hope you're listening to this. Please listen, don't say anything, and pay attention.
You want him to hire Renee Holt as the next head coach?
I want him to get out of the cellar.
she probably could be our kicker. I mean,
this year they're 13-4, guys. So you talk about a system, you talk about buying in, and you talk about continuity. Continuity. It leads to good things. Coach Holt has displayed that, Steve, from, superintendent athletics, ACS, hat point of view. You got to be excited when you see growth from your coaches and administrators and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's ebbs and flows of the athletes that come up and through. Obviously, when you hire coaches, you hope that they can build as far down as the elementary. So tonight's a great night to see that we have parents that are invested in that, and hopefully the future is bright. And this group right now is setting the tone, and obviously it started a little bit more last year. But Renee and her brother, and Job Gray, and Kelsey Wright, and those that came before her. Brandon, I know you were a part of it. Dave Swartz.
Coach Snow. Yep.
Yeah, Coach Snow. You just have ebbs and flows, and this is a great little boost, and I think the future is bright. Renee, obviously, you talked about earlier, comes from great pedigree. Just because you're a great player doesn't always mean that you are a great coach, and she was hired right out of college. So she's had good people around her. She's always willing to take good advice, right? There's bad advice out there.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
So I've really appreciated that about
there is a lot of
Renee.
bad advice out there.
And,
Yeah.
you know, not sitting too far from us up here. She's got a great support system with her family. And on any given night, he's not here today, but you know the big man that supports her and Mr. and Mrs. Archer. So it's very helpful that she comes from AU as well.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know,
Hey, it's time. Sorry, Steve. It's time to get a look at the keys to the game. Brought to us by Sarver Paving. What do you got, BW?
Well, for the Arrows, you got to avoid the hangover, right? I mean, because of Thursday's loss, it's a tough one. It would be easy to let that drag into today's ball game. So you need to figure out a way to get off to a good start, wipe that from memory, and avoid the hangover. Steve talked about it earlier on. Guys, you need to do a better job today in the zone offense. If Madison comes out and plays some zone, which I expect them to do if they were watching film and based on what I saw in the JV game, we got to be better on the zone offense. And if you're the Rams, obviously you're on the road in a hostile environment. You want to get off to a good start.
Quick look at the starting lineups brought to you by Truly Inspired Paper Company. Offices in Ashland and Ludenville. Check out the voice of the Falcons, Zach Truax, for all your paper needs. For the Arrows, the familiar starting lineups: Grace Tobias, CeCe Sturry, Kennedy Lacey, Lauren Green, and Cameron Cox down on the block. And then on the other side for the Rams, they'll start Maddie Berry, Kalia Clapper, Cambry Howell, Avery O'Brien, and Morgan Cook. Just about ready to get this baby underway. 30 seconds on the pregame clock. We'll break so you can hear the national anthem along with the home crowd. The jazz band will be presenting that. The national anthem brought to us by our friends at Chandler Systems.
On behalf of the Ashland Schools Board of Education and the administration of Ashland High School, we would like to welcome you to Arrow Arena for today's contest featuring our guests from Madison High School and your Ashland Arrows. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and all of our service men and women with the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Thanks for joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. I'm Chris Mallory, going to be joined this afternoon by Brandon Wells and Steve Paramore. 8 minutes on the Comfort Control first quarter clock. And guys, we're just about ready to get this one underway. Lots and lots of people in attendance here on both sides of the stands. And here's something you see in Arrow Arena on Friday nights for guys games. All the littles coming down to the side of the court there in front of the home stands to give these ladies high fives, and they've got basketballs they're going to throw out. Where's Hudson when he probably wants to be here for another basketball? And really cool, they're going to form a tunnel there just like they do at the guys' games, which is really awesome too. Referees for today's contest brought to us by Valley Transportation. The guys blowing the whistles will be Thomas Goodsight, Bill Naznati, and Ryan Avers. Speaking of Ryan, on my bird journey to Deutschland, I watched Wrexham Football Club with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney. That is can't miss TV. That's fantastic.
Ryan Reynolds is great. I've not seen the new Wolverine and Deadpool, but he's been in some great movies. Safe House, but obviously English football is a whole other animal, Chris.
I'll tell you, the thing that strikes me about Ryan Reynolds, he married up.
Well, it's not like he's a bad-looking man. Let's be clear. I mean, come on, Ryan Reynolds. Just saying.
I was just going to let you
I love that it just went awkward silence. Tip-off and colors brought to you by Linway Restaurant. Quality food and fine service since 1951.
Let me catch my breath from that laugh. Here we are. This is really, really awesome. You see the ladies here being introduced to the home crowd by none other than Ashland legend Dan Chandler in attendance.
My man.
Today, and done a fine job all season long serving as the PA announcer for the retired Steve Paramore from the desk.
He's not fully retired.
Well, you didn't let me finish from the girls contest here inside Arrow Arena.
I retired because I did PA while my daughter played so that I wouldn't say things up in the stands.
That's wise. That's some
smart
wisdom
man.
for a man that was in his 30s.
Wise.
That was some really good discernment, my friend.
Well, speaking of that, like you watch these tough years and tough campaigns and whatnot, and it's got to be fun from just a dad perspective to, you saw your daughter go through some of these losing years, but how about this now? It's really awesome.
It's great. It's one of those years where the league's been kind of different, but winning cures a lot of things.
Sure does. We've got a starting lineup change that we were just apprised of. Madison Hoffman going to get the start here inside Arrow Arena. And Grace Tobias going to serve the role that she started the season at, which will be first off the bench, I would presume, Brandon.
Well, Coach Holt liked what she saw from Madison Hoffman on Thursday, putting up a lot of points, coming off the bench. Little mix-up in the lineup here today. Hopefully it works out for the Arrows.
We are ready to go. Linway Restaurant tip-off just about to happen. Again, you're joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network presented by Sarver Paving. Special thanks to Simonson Construction for joining us all season long. They were the sponsor of that really cool preview show for the guys and the gals that we had at South Street Grill, and then they are the scoreboard sponsors you can see on screen all season long. Center circle occupied. The Mamba is in white and opposed by Avery O'Brien. The toss is underway. Madison Hoffman has it, and the Arrows, with the first possession of the game, we're underway inside Arrow Arena.
First quarter brought to you by Comfort Control, providing the best residential and commercial customers for more than 40 years. Comfort Control.
Mamba takes the first one towards the rack. No good. Here's a triple by Madison. No good. Lauren Green, nice job. Steve being right spot, right time with the box out there and a rebound.
They actually rebounded a little bit better on Thursday, so that was promising. So we coming down with the first rebound off that three was great effort by Lauren. That was a deep carom off that.
And that's the one thing we talked about, guys. The Arrow's going to have to take care of the basketball. I think if you go back and look at that film against New Philly, the one thing you're going to come away with is say, my goodness, we had so many transition opportunities, but we were throwing the ball out of bounds and dribbling it off our foot. We can take care of the basketball today. You feel like we're going to be in pretty good shape.
And that's a basic thing to me, and that's a foul. Good job by Maddie driving to the basket. But that's a thing that, Chris, the fundamental of that is, hey, we got to fake high to go low. You got to throw some bounce passes, throw some overhead passes. We got a little too predictable in the way we were throwing the ball with chest passes and trying to throw through people instead of either over or under them. But that was one of the things. You want to hit the middle, look opposite. You got to fake high, go low. Those are those reminders you need to make sure that we're getting.
Maddie Hoffman, as normal, converts both tosses from the Conyer Manufacturing stripe, and the Arrows break the seal up 2-0 here with 7 minutes to go in the Comfort Control first quarter. Little four-court press being displayed here by the Arrows. Madison able to break it, no problem. And here goes Madison towards the goal, no good. CeCe Sturry gets the ball in transition. Here comes the Arrows. I think the Mamba's going to be a featured focus here, and there's a little jumper from the foul line, and she gets that one to
Way
go.
better arc on that one, guys.
Arrows up 4-0.
It can get flat. It can get flat.
Yep.
It can get flat.
So the Mamba on the board early here for the Arrows. That's a good sign, considering she was a little slow in that first half on Thursday night.
Well, they were playing pack line defense on Thursday. Was New Philly timeout early as the Arrows pressure was forcing a potential turnover. But they really, I mean, we saw a lot of pack line defense from New Philly on Thursday, and we struggled against it. And so that makes that high post, low post, that high-low game that we've been successful with this season. It struggled a little bit on Thursday, but we'll see as this one kind of progresses what kind of defensive philosophy we're going to see from Madison.
Doug Rickard of Madison AD office,
Former basketball coach.
Also part of the staff here for the girls squad. It was actually a really, really long tenured baseball coach with some dynamic runs at Madison. Is really where.
And he also coached basketball as well.
He might have, but that was his sport he played at AU, I believe. Doug Rickard did for. I don't think it would have been Shalley. It would have been Warnemount, if I'm not mistaken.
Brad Warnemount.
Yeah.
Now at Rio Grande.
Yeah,
have you ever met a more intense person than that guy?
Going down the rabbit hole to find Brad Warnemount's name. I know that he wanted Tim Dennison to play shortstop as a 26-year-old one time because he didn't have a shortstop inside Ashland University.
So Brad coached a traveling team that had a bunch of my friends on it when we were about 12 years old, 13 years old. And about the pony league level, and I was a young kid for my grade, so I didn't get to play on it. But they were called the Ashland Angels, and there's some great Brad Warnemont stories out there just from that crew. So
we could get real quickly Mike Van Dyne on text to probably hear some of those stories.
Also known as the Wolf. Shout out MVD Sports, and my guy Mikey is not shy with his ability to recollect several stories.
He gets that honestly from Senior.
Senior's a goat.
Here's CC Sturry for a three, doesn't catch anything. That's going to head out of bounds. I'll tell you what, Mikey is going to get fixed, and that's his handicap here in early June. That handicap's going to have to get fixed.
Back to babasketball. CC misses a good look at.
I needed that response right there, and you want to change it.
The jury is still out.
6-0. The Arrows lead Madison.
It's too early to keep going down the rabbit holes.
No, it wasn't a rabbit hole.
Well, okay. Wormhole.
You guys said it earlier, and it's
another one of our teammates is in attendance tonight. Ben's sponsor over there, Donnelly Ford, a huge sponsor of Ashland Arrows. His son is playing saxophone on the jazz band. So Brendan,
I talked to him in the football season.
Ben and Nikki, great folks. Yep.
And our fearless leader of that squad, Keith Bryan, is proprietor of
Pops.
Yeah, proprietor of O'Brien's and Ohio Fire. So he's out in Vegas, just getting some time away. It's very rare that he gets away. So
hopefully he's watching this.
Yeah,
no,
from
I'm
Vegas.
sure he's not.
Maybe he's taking a break.
He's at the Bellagio. Cameron Cox for a triple. Doesn't get that to go, but the Arrows, I love it, are really active after the loose balls. Right on cue. Lauren Green sets a screen, and Madison Hoffman with an open shot. Nice job here. Madison going to go ahead and put it up, and she has 6 of the 8 points early here for the Arrows. 8-0, Arrows lead.
That's all we needed to do was talk about rebounding improvement.
Yeah.
We have led the boards on both offensive and defensive side.
Here's good.
Well, that's true, Steve. You're right, and we should be against a much smaller Madison Rams team, to be honest. But you got to, that's what we're doing so far. We're doing our job. You're right.
Foul going to be called on Cameron Cox. That'll be her first foul, the Arrows' first team foul. And heading to the line will be Madison's Maddie Berry, a junior guard here for the Rams. First one from the stripe is up, and front iron kicks off the backboard, no good. So we stand at 8-0, Arrows in front. It got eerily quiet.
What did Maddie's finish with Thursday night? 18 points? 17?
17. Really good
leads
job.
all scorers with 6.
And here comes Cameron Cox getting her Magic Johnson on. We're going to have a traveling violation.
We got to move the ball via pass.
Might be one of those where you'd hear the coach go, get it to a guard.
Well, it's not the Cam. Even it doesn't even. I agree, Steve. But even if that's a guard, the quickest way to get the ball up the floor is by passing the ball, and you had girls down floor. So got to keep our eyes up and move the ball quickly.
Oh, we got a new banner inside Arrow Arena. Just noticed. Ashland Arrows cheerleading, 2024 Division II state runner-up. That's pretty cool.
We're kind of contemplating. We've got a state championship esports team. So I
bowling?
don't know.
Let's do it.
Bowling, we are unbelievably behind the 8 ball.
Mamba off the glass, 10-0 Arrows lead.
Quick look at that
tough.
Sarver paving replay right there, Mamba. A little hesitation is what got that all going, guys, right at the free throw line.
You know, what's interesting is, if you go up to our wrestling room at the field house, Tommy's done a great job of decorating that room with all of their accolades, which is that's where those awards should go.
Great entry pass by Madison Hoffman. Cameron Cox just off the glass, not able to get it to go, but a really, really good job, Brandon, to find her down low.
Yeah, great entry pass, but just couldn't finish.
CC Sturry finds a steal and is going to go to the lane. She
got bailed out. Guys, I love the aggressiveness. You got 2-on-1, and you got a girl on the backside, and you made the defender commit to you on that. That's where I think you can make that bounce pass on the backside.
No question. No question.
But she got herself to the line, so it worked out. I'm right. It was, it still worked out fine.
Clapper picks up that foul for Madison. Since substitutions, Madison Hoffman and Lauren Green going to check out of the game, and Josie Van Tilburg and Grace Tobias going to see their first action of the afternoon with an Arrows up 11-1, make it 12-2, excuse me. CC converts those free throws.
Got off to a great start on Thursday. Just got to maintain that level of intensity and taking care of the basketball. Yeah, you mentioned it. Grace Tobias and Josie Van Tilburg in for the Arrows. A little different look, a little smaller look.
Clapper in and back out. Brandon, you love that move, and that three doesn't go, but the Mamba finds another rebound as she's off and running here, going coast to coast. Nope, finds Grace Tobias for a triple. Fuck that BB&C Car Care three, and the Arrows 15-2 lead here halfway through the first quarter.
Great job by Lacey, attacking and dishing, keeping her eyes up.
Clapper, nice pass to her.
That's a weak one right there.
To the rack, gets a foul call. That's going to be Cameron Cox's second, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Matayaw experience here pretty quick, Brandon.
Yeah,
she's at the line.
Or
the substitution station, excuse me.
Cam just has to do a better job going forward and learning of sliding her feet and not using her midsection to try to bump, and just keep sliding her feet and staying a half step ahead.
So that's two team fouls on the Arrows now with two.
Both on Cam. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is that opportunity. If you're Brylan and you want to get some more minutes going towards the back end of the season, you got to kind of show out here.
Both of those free throws converted there by Clapper. Grace trying to kick it in, but luckily back to her. Here's Sturry for three. Doesn't get that one to go, and that rebound pulled down by Howell. That's not Lexi Howell, Steve. That is Cambry Howell.
Lexi is playing right now.
She good.
They're playing
Senior
Thomas
day, yeah.
Moore. Yep.
Senior day today at AU. A lot going on in the district and a lot going on at AU today. Light Giver open today. Judd Logan Light Giver open at the NIS.
Right behind my house.
Men's and women's basketball.
It seems like they end
I
up
don't know
having
about swimming.
It seems like they end up on those days and some weekends where it's like everything's here at once. That's a challenge.
We've got the middle school OCC wrestling tournament going on at the field house right now.
Norma and Keith and Norma
Wygant field house.
Yep.
And then I believe that our middle school girls, I want to say 7th grade, won this morning.
Boom! Josie Van Tilburg on the board with a triple, 18-4 Arrows.
Couldn't get much better of a start here in the first quarter, guys.
Listen, we lived this on Thursday night. We'll see if we can't learn from our mistakes and keep this lead nice and big.
You're right, but there's clearly no hangover in the first quarter here. So great job by Coach Holt having her girls ready to play here today.
Bradley Cooper can keep hanging out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He ain't coming to Ashland today, right, boys?
I'll be your Doug.
This is an opportunity for these girls to, obviously kind of stay aggressive, but also, look for the best shot, right? You're up tremendously, and
Madison Hoffman for a triple. Josie Van Tilburg got a little back tap.
I think Steve's right. You got to be careful to be triggering shots a little too quick. The last two possessions, you didn't get either ball reversal or an inside look. So you want to get an inside out or at least a ball reversal before you're taking one of those long threes. You're back into a different defensive alignment because of who you have in there. You're in a 2-3 with Lainey McNamara and Grace up high. And obviously that 2-3, the hardest thing about a 2-3 is rebounding, and you saw it right there. Bryland's got to go grab it. She hit it last. But she's got to make, we got lucky on that one. That should have been green ball.
I think that
Don't
was
show the replay, guys.
Reed down there talking that in.
He's right. Yeah, this guy saw it, and they're going to fix it. That's definitely green ball.
That is 1,000% green ball, but they're going to stay with an Ashland basketball. Wow.
Well, it happens. We'll take it, guys.
Coach Schmook was down there. He's uncertain what's happening, and he's quite surprised. But nonetheless, we're underway here with 1:14 to go in the Comfort Control first quarter. Triple. Madison Hoffman, book it. 21-4.
Fuego.
She got 9 early ones here, guys. 9 markers. I told her when I gave her a couple gift cards that made their way to Bavaria this week and was able to bring them back, that she's on par to buy Applebee's along with Pax Ediger, the way those two have been playing here recently. Madison gets a little quick toss off the glass to go. Avery O'Brien, her 4th point of the day. 35 seconds to go. Ashland basketball. Lainey McNamara checked in the basketball game.
Nice passing to Lauren Green. Good ball movement, ladies.
Maudia off the glass. Doesn't get that one to go. That was from the stripe. 20 seconds to go. Ashland with a 21-6 lead.
That was a great possession. Honestly, that was a fantastic. I know you didn't get the result, but that was a great possession by the ladies. And a good shot for Bryland. She can make that. She likes to use the glass. The CBWard.com glass. Coldwell Banker Ward Real Estate. For all your realty needs.
5 seconds to go. Madison going to have to get a shot off. They may not do it. They're going to dribble the clock out. That one counts if it goes. I didn't think there was a chance of that. 21-6 Ashland. We'll be right back with the second quarter right after this.
Proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
(21-6) Ashland leads Madison here. 8 minutes on the Sprang-Smith second quarter clock. Madison's basketball here to start the second quarter. Nice packed house here inside Arrow Arena, if we're being honest. Not as packed as it was Thursday night, but nonetheless still a great crowd here inside Arrow Arena. We got a double hitter for you here today on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. We'll have
kind of a doubleheader.
Yeah, for you and me.
Doubleheader.
Yeah, well, there's an opportunity to get a little bite to eat. You can go home and eat some kale and some other things that you like.
I love kale chips. You ever had kale chips?
Whoa, what do we have here? We have the mayor up there setting, flanked by the voice of the Falcons, Zach Truex, absolutely smoking the sucker. Look, he's crushing that
Going
thing.
to town.
Mamba from the elbow doesn't get that one to go. Look at that effort from Cameron Cox.
Oh, great
There's
effort,
a
Lauren
back
Green.
tap. Here's a triple, Madison Hoffman. Doesn't get it to go. Another rebound, but
keep that ball up. You got to keep that ball up.
Look at that hustle play. Go ahead and mark that one down potentially as a hustle play of the game by CC Sturry. Fantastic job not giving up on that, Steve.
Yeah, a lot going on there on that play.
Yeah, I'm out of breath. Arrows basketball up 21-6. 7 minutes, 21 seconds to go. Here we go. It's a little better. There's Dr. Metzger.
I talked to Mitch up there. Psychology professor over at Ashland University.
How about, I thought maybe Mitch would take the trip to Houston for AU baseball, playing at Minute Maid Park the last couple days.
Yep, some guys in my class over there teaching business communications. Jack Rosmus.
CBWard.com bank shot is open.
We'll take it.
CC
Bill Raftery
smoked the glass. CC on the board as 4 points now, and the Arrows open up a 23-6 lead.
Nickel and dimer. That hurt my voice yelling that. Probably hurt everybody's ears. They're watching. Maybe this guy.
6:35 to go. Yeah, you don't want any part of those couple fellas.
Look, if you're looking for a brawl.
No. Well, watch the hole you're going down here, BW.
Those guys can kick some butt.
Those dudes are AU wrestlers in their past lives, and you avoid wrestlers.
I've always said wrestlers are crazy, man. I told them that. I'm like, basketball guys don't mess with wrestlers. And when you're playing basketball against a guy that was a wrestler, there's nothing worse.
So you eat elbows.
They just face guard you the whole time. They don't care where the ball is.
No.
They just don't want you to catch the ball or do anything.
That's right. Turnover there for the Arrows, and Madison coming back the other way, and it looks like their pace of play, Brandon, they're not going to get into a track meet here with Ashland.
Now they're slowing it down, I think, because they realize that first half, or that first quarter rather, they're outmatched. And they're honestly right now, we're dropped into that zone, and Madison is struggling offensively to figure out what is what they need to do, and that's why Coach calls a timeout. We'll take a break and be right back.
Dealerships where great prices meet even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished.
Back inside Arrow Arena with the Arrows up 23-6 on Madison, 6:11 to go in the Sprang Smith second quarter, and you can see the fan cam there. There's the Green household. Tyler smashing some popcorn right there with his little girl right in front of him.
Yeah, that's Henley, newborn, Lakin.
Oh boy, the Thrill Rogers. Bill the Thrill Rogers in tow with a little one. Kim Rogers, the aforementioned retiring teacher after 30-ish years here in the district.
Got Craig McNamara up there.
Oh, yeah.
There's Uncle Dave Early. Scott up there, legs crossed.
Yeah, he's...
Big Alabama fan.
Yeah, burn tide burn is what we say in these parts.
We'll give him a roll tide, but we'll also he's a closet OHIO guy.
Oh yeah. Nice move by Madison Hoffman, and then he kicks it back to Lauren Green. Pump fake BW, you're a fan. Uh-oh.
CC.
Bucket. 3-pointer for CC Sturry and the Arrows, increasing this lead 7 points now for CC.
Right now, we can do nothing wrong offensively, moving the basketball really well against this young Madison squad.
I think what you said, Brandon, about the hangover being eliminated is spot on and well done by the maturity shown here for the Arrows.
Yeah, and this is a young Madison team that's still trying to figure out how to win on the other side, and the Arrows came out and did exactly so far what we wanted them to do. Great idea, just bad execution right there. Good hustle by Madison, getting back on defense right there.
Arrows with a 20-point lead, just over 5 minutes to go. The Sprang Smith second quarter. Reminder at halftime, presented by Bill Harris Dealerships, will have uninterrupted coverage of the Jazz Band while Steve and Brandon prepare more funny jokes and material for the third and fourth quarters.
Well, if it continues down this sort of game progression of 26-6, that's what happens when you have a ADHD guy up here talking about all kinds of things.
Well, if you think these are bad broadcasts, you ought to join us in the spring.
Who said they were bad?
No, I'm not saying they're bad, but if you like rabbit holes, join us in the spring because baseball is a much slower pace of play, as you know. Fan can back. Yes, Brandon has
see Wendy Packard up there.
Brandon has 2 settings of the fan cam, one left, one right. So if you want to avoid the fan cam, sit in the middle of the section.
Oh, no, you want me to get the middle. They're next. All right, everybody. That middle section's on blast.
Grace Tobias checks back in for the Arrows. Good job of closing out here by Ashland there on those perimeter opportunities.
I was looking for fan cam, sorry.
He's a triple. No good.
Well, great hustle there by Madison. Cam might have got away with one right there, but good effort.
Lauren Green displaying her point guard abilities. She's not afraid to chuck the three, Steve.
Oh, Cece, you're wide open, but
oh, that's heavy.
yeah. Well, tough spot there. You know, where Cece caught that ball on the ball rotation, on the reversal up top, rather, she had a wide open look or could have driven to the basket. She did the nice unselfish play by swinging it to Maddie Hoffman, who's been hot yesterday or today and on Thursday. So I'm okay with that as well. But if you catch the ball on that ball reversal, you got to at least make them respect the fact that you can drive to the basket.
Josie Van Tilburg checks in for CC Sturry. Josie knocked down a three early. And that entry pass to Cam Cox results in a turnover.
She had the right idea there.
Clapper back up, no good. That ball's going to be Ashland basketball as that went out off of Madison. 3:46 to go. The Mamba checks back in. And the fan cam, you were right, I was wrong. Right there's the center section fan cam.
Big Daddy Dave Swartz up there up top.
Yeah, I appreciate the Schwartz family for filling in for me while I was gone. That'd be Dave Schwartz. Did a fantastic job. Madison Hoffman, look at this. Goes around the edge, but no dice. Mamba.
Cameron's had a great day on the boards, both sides, offensively and defensively, so she's very active. That's tremendous effort on her part. Got to get that ball back up there a couple times, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you're right. She just hasn't been able to get anything inside. She hasn't taken many shots, only a couple shots. Well, she was in early foul trouble, but she has crashed the boards. Madison Hoffman checks out with 9. Lainey McNamara checks back in, the Sid Sud substitution, the senior.
Get a chance to talk to her a little later, most likely.
Hope so.
Yep. We'll have a long post game, it appears, potentially here for you.
And we may just stick around, Chris. I don't know if we're going home between games now. The way the overtime and the girls and the JV game.
Yeah, might be right onto something there. It might send you to Arby's, though, in between games.
Do they have a vegan sandwich there?
They have kale that just arrived from the South Sudan.
I do eat meat for folks out there as much as Chris likes to give me flack. I just also like vegetables.
Yeah.
South Street Grill, your home for Arrows athletics. Watch party location. Football, basketball, and baseball in the lower level bar area. And they've got amazing food, including Brussels sprouts.
That's about the only way I eat vegetables is if they are candied and mapled and
they're so good.
And caramelized
with
like
bacon.
they are. Yes.
With bacon on top.
Correct.
Listen, you can also have the baked beans there, and you get the best of both worlds as well because there's bacon in there and there's I think there's a lot of molasses. I asked Sean and Carly Little one day why they were so good. They said it's a secret, and I think I just gave it away.
Mamba with that entry pass, little turnaround put up, no good, little foul there.
That's okay, and she's turning towards the middle. She needs to go up with her left on a little jump hook on that one.
Well, we've been stuck 26-6 for about 4 minutes on the clock. Both teams not able to find the nylon and put a goal on the board. Clapper doesn't get that to go, and another rebound. Steve right on cue, Cameron Cox.
Just right place at the right time.
It's easy to lose focus a little bit, too, when you're up 26-6 and you're kind of dominating, and I think that's a little bit what's happened here the last couple minutes for the Arrows. You kind of feel it, like you take the foot off the gas a little bit because it's just human nature. You're off. You're clearly a much better squad than the Rams, right? And you're up by 20, and you've held them to 6 points.
3 Arrows check back in. Sturry, Hoffman, and Lauren Green.
Back to the starting lineup.
Yeah, joined by Cox and Lacey. There's a 3-point goal converted by Clapper, and she makes it a 26-8 contest.
They only gave her 2 on that. I thought that was behind the arc.
Madison Hoffman, a little dribble out to the elbow. No bueno. Doesn't get it to go. 26-8. It is really eerily quiet in this building today.
They're all waiting for the jazz band to get rolling.
I don't blame them. Yeah, I missed that 3-point goal there.
That's her spot. She's got to get there, get to that spot. She's pretty deadly from that little floater area.
I think Mamba could play free safety. She would lay the thunder.
Question.
Lay the thunder.
No question.
Nice shot there by Avery O'Brien. And down
I
to
think
18.
losing T. Sauter, I mean, give her some run.
Look at Alabama go to the goal and get that one down off the CBWard.com glass.
Roll Tide.
Nope.
All your realty needs, check out Coldwell Banker Ward Realty here in Ashland and the surrounding counties as well. They'll give you everything you can and everything you need for all your real estate needs. Mike Parker and myself and some friends played a gig last night. Mike's a realtor over there at CB Ward.
I hear his name in the baseball season, it appears. 30-11. Arrows lead.
Good run through there by Maddie, just couldn't quite come up with it.
Here's a triple from Madison. Doesn't get that to go. And guess who gets the rebound? Not Cox, but Lacey this time. Here she comes. All the way to the goal, Aunt Katie, and lays it up and in. Gets it to go. She's got 8.
We'll take it. I was sitting up here thinking, all right, one shot, hold it for one. Great effort by Cam, knocking that one out, looking like a defensive back as well. Really good job by Kennedy to address and see the floor and say, I can take it. If they're not going to step in front, I'm just going to go coast to coast.
Yeah, you either decide to make a business decision according to Dion, get in front and get run over, or let her have the uncontested lay-in. That ball no good. Go ahead and give Cameron Cox one more rebound, guys. She got that one before the horn went off. Steve, I'll start with you. Quick thoughts here, 32-11, Ashland over Madison.
I just want to give a huge shout out to Todd Green for listening down in Vestavia Hills,
My man.
Alabama, and all of his encouragement throughout the telecast. But good first half. Obviously, we're in similar territory. We're up a little bit more than we were Thursday night, but we got to come out and have a great start to the third quarter. And I like it when we get to the middle, give Mama that opportunity for the floaters. Obviously, we got a couple ladies that are shooting great from the perimeter, so I would encourage them to let it fly.
Uninterrupted coverage of the Jazz Band presented by Bill Harris Dealerships. inside Arrow Arena. 30 seconds to go until we get the Sprang-Smith third quarter underway. I'm Chris Mowry. Steve Paramore flanked to my right, and Brandon Wells flanked to my left. The Arrows have a commanding 32-11 lead over the Madison Rams, BW. And the opportunity looks in focus here for the first outright conference crown in 30 years.
Yeah, and you got off to such a great start in that first quarter, Chris, that Madison had a lot to overcome. And they're just coming out of the locker room, which is something you don't see that often as we're about to start the third quarter. And Coach Holt and company, the message in at halftime has to be, guys, we need to come out with the same energy we came out to start the first quarter here to start the second half.
Reminder, join us for the Janney postgame show. After the conclusion of this game, we'll have Coach Holt, the player of the game, presented by Truax Printing, and a long list of ladies if this game holds serve as it is right now on the clock, with the Arrows up 32-11, just underway in the Sprang-Smith third quarter.
Thanks to Bill Harris for their sponsorship of our halftime show, and the jazz band led by Zane Alaman, who did a great job. Some alumni here today to give some extra oomph, including Kayla Seelan and Cooper Sanders down there doing a fantastic job with this high school jazz band.
Well, if we've ever got a saxophonist or a flautist out, we could send the broadcast, half the broadcast crew down there and fill in. That'd be you.
I can't play either of those instruments. I don't know how to read music.
Well, just act like you do. I mean, just let your neighbor take over.
Pretty much what I act like I know how to play guitar all the time.
Smart man. Arrows looking to get on the board early. Cameron Cox, little turnaround, doesn't get that one to go, and the rebound pulled down by Madison.
Cam still scoreless.
She's played a heck of a game. She's doing what is really needed with her frame, and that's get a lot of rebounds. Steve, you mentioned it on both sides of the floor, and she's done that really well today.
Yeah, I think she has the ability, obviously, to finish, but, right, like if stuff's not falling, you got to figure out how you can continue to help the team, and Cam's doing that.
Lauren Green up off the glass. Left hand gets it to go. Lauren Green now with 4 points.
I think Clapper might have rolled an ankle a little bit there for Madison as well. That bank shot brought to you by cbward.com. Coldwell Banker Realty for all your real estate needs right here in Ashland.
Guys, great move out of Lauren Green there to absorb the contact and finish with a left hand.
That'll make nephew, Uncle Todd happy down
I
there.
saw a lot of that out of
That's
Todd and Scott back in the days on Samaritan. Some pretty mean basketball that was played in that driveway. At a young age, I learned a lot of great language and baskall skills.
Until Lorne came outside and tried to corral it.
It was more K. K would come out more.
Three-pointer converted by Howell, and that tightens up the lead to 20.
I'm sorry, Mama Green.
So, Todd, good golfer as well. Scotty, I obviously know. I've played with him many times. Mama gets that to go. She's got 10. Who's a better golfer of those two?
They're all great. I stand neutral on all of their skill level.
Smart.
Probably one of the best golfers coming up through would be young Ethan Green out of Vestavia Hills. He put us all to the woodshed down in Myrtle Beach this summer.
Cameron Cox heard you, BW. She's on the board.
Great job. Good look forward by CC. Really good court vision right there, and a good finish with the left.
Yeah, obviously grew up with the Green Boys, and obviously watching Lauren grow up, Paige, Brooklyn. She's all over the place, probably helping out down on the bench.
Great pass by Cam.
That was a terrific pass, Brandon. Not only was it a good pass, but a bounce pass to eliminate any of those handsies being up.
Unselfish play right there. Had decent position, but gave up a good shot for a great shot, and Maddie just didn't knock it down. That's okay. Keep firing that one.
Grace Tobias and Josie Van Tilburg check in for the Arrows. Green and Sturry check out.
I got to admit, guys, I was skeptical when the lineup changed today. I was like, wow, okay, it went back to the starting lineup we had earlier in the season, but Maddie's played really well. And you know, Coach Holt sees these ladies every day and knows what she's doing out there, and it's worked really well. And Grace Tobias come off the bench and played well as well.
Maddie Berry on the board with a triple, and the lead cut 38-19. 19-point lead for the Arrows. Madison off and playing point guard.
Little three-quarter court pressure right now from Madison.
That foul going to be called on Avery O'Brien. That'll be her first today.
Guys, like clockwork, this is what we saw in the third quarter from New Philly.
Yeah.
Needing to maybe double a ball handler. One thing I've noticed tonight is the amount of open looks that we have, right? That's a shooter's dream. And
Addie Hoffman went to the goal, and hands on that basketball by Avery O'Brien, kicks it out of bounds, but the Arrows will retain possession.
Brandon, she didn't drop her shoulder there.
No, that was a much better job of driving to the basket. Morgan Cook played some good defense on the help side as well.
Mamba goes up, right hand, doesn't get it to go. A set play for the Mamba there. If she can just back up, get the ball inside the free throw line, and has a decision to make whether she takes that 10-footer or goes to the glass. Wow, that swing pass looked like a throw from shortstop to first base. Results in an E6.
It won't be long before it's baseball season. We were just talking how it's already February, and we'll have all those broadcasts of all the Arrows home games here come spring. Late March 29th, the opener for the Arrows against Tiffin Columbian.
Guys, in honor of the late Bob Uecker, maybe you should try to throw in as many references from Major League as you can in this Arrow baseball season.
Yeah, we can do that. We used to, when we started this, we had the word of the day that no one would play with. They didn't know we were even on the air, so it was kind of a game that was fun. I think I still have those certificates in the console of my rig.
There's only so many quotes you can say that are appropriate for a school district's website, though. That is true, right? Tried the corner and missed.
Ball 4. Ball 8.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
One of my favorites is he's going to need a rocket to catch that one on right field.
And off the reservation.
Mamba says, I got the board back up. Does Kennedy Lacey. She's got 12 to match her jersey number tonight, and the Arrows now with a 21-point lead. Mamba's averaging just under 16 a game. Steve, I said it last time. I think she's the OCC Player of the Year.
I've not seen Annalise Norris play a lot this year. I can't speak to Brandon. You mentioned New Philly's Avery.
She good.
She's a nice player. Obviously, Macari's probably in the conversation. And
yep, Macari Chapman out of Lexington. Yep. Yeah, she's had a good season and a good career. 3-sport athlete. Yep, that's true.
And I don't know much about what West Holmes has. They have some injury this year with West Holmes girls team.
Just a little down.
Yeah.
A little down, a little injury. But, Coach Belton has them playing well and hard like you would expect from West Holmes, right? You always expect those squads to fight. Oh, nice pass by Josie inside. That was a beautiful pass. And that's the kind of ball movement we're talking about earlier in the ball game where Josie looks inside. Cam had great position in there and finishes, and now Cam's got 4.
Lauren Green going to check back in. Arrows up 22 points. Madison doing a big job of these swing passes, guys, from one side of the court to the other.
Well, the Arrows are in that zone, so you're trying to swing it, you're trying to skip it.
Voice of the TY Tigers checking in on my phone there.
Aiden's got a birthday this week.
Yeah, well, he's got a wise text that he just sent me, too.
Brother
love
Owen.
AC. Shout out AC. Big day. February 4th will live in infamy, so looking forward to that.
And you going to let everybody know what Feb 4 is?
It's Aiden's 21st birthday.
Oh, Lord, I'll be locking the car doors early and locking the house double deadbolts that day.
He will feel like a king of the castle.
I'm the king of the castle.
Whoa, 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 wee, whoa.
Owen Chandler, the brother of Aiden, is the new general manager of the Northern Iowa football team.
Panthers.
And congratulations to Owen Chandler and the youngest GM. And now that you have GM roles in college football for player personnel and NIL stuff, and just congratulations. He helped out at AU this year, and he's going to do really well out there.
I learned all about it on Facebook this week, so I wasn't aware of that, but was able to learn about that on DC's postings. Plural.
Arrow Nation's very proud of Owen, and he's worked hard, and to be in the role he was last year as a volunteer assistant doing a lot of film prep, he definitely has paid his dues. Was kind of in a coaching role early on at ONU, so all the best of luck out there near Cedar Falls, I want to say.
I think it's Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids, okay.
Zach Johnson.
Who's that?
Yeah, he's not a good Ryder Cup captain, I'll promise you that, but he is a 2-time major champion.
Yeah, to coach at the college level and to take your, you have to do it right away, basically, out of college, and you have to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy paying your dues. Tobias with a good look at that three, just couldn't get it to fall.
Van Tilburg, Green, Tobias, Madia, and McNamara on the floor for the Arrows. 21-point lead Ashland has. They've doubled up Madison here. Good job by Laney McNamara efforting that rebound. Nice box out.
Madison's still playing really hard, moving the ball better than they did in the first half. Their ball movement's great. They're still aggressive, attacking the middle and looking outside against the Arrows zone. They just can't make any shots today, really. And in the second half, though, they're definitely still playing hard.
Juan Mamba checks back in. You guys didn't really give me a lot of love there in that OCC. Aiden Chandler did. Thanks for having my back, AC. She's getting 16 a night, over 7 boards, 3 steals, 3 assists a game. It's a pretty good campaign from the sophomore here, Kennedy Lacey. And sophomore.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Comes right on cue and gets another steal. Nice dish off to Madia.
It's so amazing because we've covered all these games now for 2 years, Chris. It just seems to me like she should be a junior, so you're right. My apologies.
There's a triple converted by Maddie Berry. She's got 2 made shots, both of them triples. She got 6 points.
I don't disagree with you, Chris. There's just, I guess my position is I don't know enough about the OCC other players. I'm a little partial to,
just
to
hang
the
with
Arrows.
me. I'll take care of it.
I would say she has got as good of a chance as anybody to be Player of the Year in the OCC.
42-24.
There's dealerships where great prices
1
meet
minute
an
to go
even
in the
better
third quarter.
selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished.
A lot of cars need moved, guys, here at Ashland City Schools, Ashland High School, I should say. The Buick CTS is in the wrong location.
They probably thought that they could park in front of the storage building out there where the fire hydrant is.
That's no bueno. On the floor for the Arrows, it is their ball. Lacey, Cox, Sturry, Green, and Hoffman.
Madison's as close as they've been, really, since early in the first half. And Madison got lucky there. They dodged a technical foul. They had 6 out on the court.
Mamba has the high arc, and here's a swing pass to Hoffman. Thought she might take it. She faking me out, guys. Look at Lauren Green's athleticism right there, fellas, pulling that high heater down.
Nice look.
Give and go. Maddie doesn't get it to go, gets it blocked.
Got 35 seconds, no rush, no pressure.
Here's the triple she's been looking for. Doesn't get that one to go, a little short, but the Mamba with a rebound. Sturry gonna let this triple go. Bucked it, baby. 48-24 Ashland.
A lot of ball movement in that possession.
Brandon, we've seen just about all these games. I'll tell you, that was one of the best possessions I've seen this squad have all season long.
Yeah, you had a couple of opportunities. Good job. And there it is. CC does what we talk about all the time. If you want to get a charge, you got to fall down. And CC gets her feet moving, stays in front of the offensive player, and takes the charge. Great job.
That is the second charge taken in the Sturry house in a lifetime.
And they both did this week.
In 2 days. I'll get a text at about 7:30 tonight when he watches it back and lets me know that was a confirmed comment. Mamba goes up off the glass, doesn't get it to go, but the Arrows have a massive 21-point lead. We'll be right back.
Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
45-24, 8 minutes on the comfort control clock, and we've got fans in the stands. I think that's a song, isn't it, Steve? Fans in the stands. Get on your feet. It's an Arrow cheerleading reference, I think. All you fans in the stands.
You're going to have to run that by Mason and ask her.
She tells me.
Okay.
You know, football games, she comes home Friday nights, and I'm there, and she's like, do you see me cheer? The answer, always yes.
Sure did, honey.
Absolutely. You did a
Smart
really
guy.
great scissor kicker thing. That's what I've called them for years. Madison Hoffman, look at this Steph Curry move. Doesn't get it to go left-handed. And the Arrows' first possession results in no points.
Got to hurry if you're Madison. And timeout called by Coach Schmuck.
Rams 30-second timeout. Winners in the Lady Arrows basketball drawing today.
Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
There was some good commentary that you just missed there, folks, right there coming out of that break. And
You can repeat it.
I will repeat it. Steve, you're going to have to say okay to Jason Going's request for the PO to be issued for the numerals 2024 up there on that banner.
I will. I'll approve that requisition as soon as he gets that in, and we'll get those numbers on there. I think he usually goes through our friends down there in MVD Sports to get that proudly up there.
How does that work with the AD department? Does he have a budget that he doesn't have to ask for permission to buy stuff that you guys approve before the year? Or how does that work? I was always curious.
He has a budget.
Yeah.
Yes, he always has to ask for permission to spend money. But you know, we have separate accounts for coaches through fundraising, but also obviously the athletic department has its own budget. But yep, they've got to ask for Kyle and my permission, and we, just like anything, right? Money is tight some years, and other years. I obviously super thankful for all of our parents that help fundraise and get these kids what they need beyond what our district can.
It's like signing
can
expense
fund.
reports. Ooh, gonna have a foul there on the floor, and it'll be Ashland basketball here. 6:38 to go, 45-25. Arrows lead by 20. How about Joe Reap taking over a really important position here with the Booster Club?
We're really proud of Joe Reap for stepping into Dan Heath's role. Dan Heath has been of great service for many years at the helm of the All Sports Booster Club. I believe Tiffany Anderson's going to stay on, but the latest news may be that one Mr. Justin Blair may assist Joe Reap with that role, maybe in a vice president role.
Nice.
Maybe in a co-president role with Joe Reap, but those guys will hit the ground running, and do great things for Arrow Athletics.
We had Joe Reap on as our pregame guest for a hoops game here not too long ago, and that was obviously a topic of conversation we talked about. And he said he's getting excited, and he had it delivered to you when Cuddy and Randy were running that with the cruise and all kinds of things. So he's got a lot of ideas floating around.
Yeah, the cruise party was always a hit. It was a reverse raffle. Obviously, we've had great success with the purse bingo in May.
Great success.
And they will have it again this coming May. It is packed. There are not a lot of males there other than myself and some coaching staff that are serving, getting things for all of our ladies in the community that get involved with that purse bingo. So
we're going to help out with that as well.
Yeah, really super happy and proud to be able to give back to Arrow Athletics in the Booster Club role there. Brandon and I sponsor a purse that Steve will rattle off numbers there, and I have to say I helped 1 year, and that was enough.
I've been to a few
shenanigans.
I've been to a few of the events where it's kind of fun to watch. I think was it Holiday Happenings where they did the purse auction?
Yeah,
that was fun to watch. Some of the gentlemen, like Aaron Bates from Wickham and Hess and company, go out and model the purses, and you've seen some pretty fantastic stuff out there on the runway.
Yeah, it's maybe last year, not this Holiday Happenings, but I did a golf bag. Walk that one across the catwalk. Brandon, you got a guitar this year, didn't you? Or you bid on that? Yeah,
I did. I ended up buying a guitar from Sheeman Guitars, and a shameless plug for Sheeman Guitars. It's Stacy Sheeman from United Way, executive director. Her brother makes guitars for a living, and he makes some amazing guitars. So if you're a musician out there and thinking about buying a guitar, go ahead and check it out.
Take your word for it.
It's a Strat style guitar that I bought. It's awesome. Yeah.
5 minutes, 40 seconds to go until those numerals get PO approval from the superintendent, and they get placed on that banner here inside Arrow Arena for a lifetime. 30 years of no conference crowns is going to come to an end here once we get the horn to go. Arrow's up 20, 45-25 over Madison.
Don't forget tonight to join us around 7 for the boys' varsity basketball game against Massillon, Washington. A big one tonight and a tough one against one of the better teams in the region.
They good.
There will be some athletes on the floor tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, the boys are going to have their work cut out for them tonight.
I think it was Camden's junior year we went there and played, and there were 3 Division I wide receiver recruits on the starting 5.
Jalen Ballard.
He was one of them. The guy that went to West Virginia, I can't remember his name, and there was one that was just ho-hum, went to Kent State.
Right, maybe the tight end went to West Virginia.
He did. Yeah. He was a wide receiver in school, but then he got down there and put on some weight and played tight end.
Yeah, we called that one, I think, over on iHeartRadio. I think I was there for that one as well.
Got beat by 30.
Yeah, those are hard ones to call on the radio. It was a tough one. It happens. Sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw like that, and hopefully the Arrows come out ready to rock and roll here tonight.
Hey, reminder, join us on the Janney postgame show. It's going to be a fun one that Brandon and I have been looking forward to for literally 2 years, and we're going to get to celebrate with his squad. Coach Holt will have our Truax Printing Player of the Game. Brandon and Steve will select the Turning Point and Hustle Play of the Game presented by Bo Lacey Construction. Unless you're ready to drop it off now.
I am. Let's get that rolling, because I would say the turning point of the game was as soon as the buzzer sounded and the tip happened, because we got off to such a great start. And I was a little worried about the hangover effect that could happen from a tough, emotional overtime loss on Thursday. I mean, there's a good crowd here today, but Thursday night was just an amazing atmosphere, and we lost a tough one. And so I think the turning point of the game was Coach Holt in the locker room and these veterans, these girls that are now becoming veterans. It's a young team, but they really figured it out to start the game. So that's your turning point of the ball game, brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction.
I will agree with you wholeheartedly. We were asked from some fans what kind of energy we'd bring on the air today, and I think our energy on the air has been mirrored by the Arrows this afternoon.
Absolutely. Josie Van Tilburg going to check in for Lauren Green. Congrats to Lauren Green, who's going to graduate from the high school with an OCC crown. To her credit, that's really, really awesome. And something you did, Steve, when you graduated from the high school, you had a few conference crowns to your credit as well. Same as my son Camden. He was able to get 4, win 10 letters here and won 4. So he batted at 40% success rate. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, when you talk to any coaching staff, whether it's Coach Valentine, Coach Holt, Coach Hess, any of our leaders, the number one goal is to win an OCC crown, and then everything after that is the secondary goal. But winning a conference championship is always the first goal.
We had Scotty V up here, and they had, Brandon, correct me if you remember the number, I think it was 18 team goals that they had that the senior class, Sauter and Hoffman and Cooper Smith and Eisenhart, those guys set. And Scotty was proud to say they checked off 17 out of 18. The only one they didn't get was the state title.
Right, and obviously we kind of succumbed to a great Big Walnut school. But I think if we beat that team, if we beat Big Walnut, I think we were a better team than Massillon, Washington. And, right, I'm making some bold predictions there.
I think you're right, Steve.
I think our path would have been absolutely doable to the state championship game, which obviously was the 18th goal.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, Nadia gets it up and in. Awesome job. And she's on the board. Will be heading to the county manufacturing stripe for another toss. Dan Chandler in the background that you hear as the PA announcer, done a fine job all season long. Son Aiden Chandler, renowned neuroscience biology taker at Ohio Northern, checking in. The voice of the Tigers.
Renowned. Oh, here we are.
They're up 24 points, BW.
Aiden reminds me of Ron Burgundy saying, "I'm kind of a big deal."
There's one word that needs removed there, and that would be pontificated from Aiden Chandler. Probably doesn't equal out. It's Mr. Send It, Send It, Send It. Wells is sitting over here thinking, what are you guys talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, got it. 2 more points for Madison.
I pay attention more than you think. Just don't tell anybody, because then there's higher expectations.
2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. The Arrows with a 20-point lead. Nice entry pass from McNamara into Madiaw. Josie Van Tilburg going to chuck a 3. Doesn't get that one to go. Well, guys, I'm excited and I'm happy for this squad. Coach Holt, I think it's awesome. Brandon, when we started doing these games over a year ago, you could see the talent that this squad had, that these girls had individually. And we said, literally, to be very transparent, when are they going to learn to play with each other? When are they going to be able to do in the game what they're coached to do, et cetera? And, you know, let's be honest, last year was a little lumpy. We had some good runs. We had a little lumps, but this year's been quite fun to watch.
Yeah, they had one senior last year, Alex Huckleberry, and it was a young squad then, a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing. And today, you see out on the floor, these girls have grown up. They've learned from Thursday. They've played well here today. You have a couple of seniors, but you're going to have a lot of these girls back next year as well.
Heck of an entry pass from Laney McNamara into Madiaw. There you go, Laney. Good job. Fighting for that basketball. Ties it up. We got a jump ball.
Gentlemen, is the draw tomorrow for tournament?
Sure is, for the girls, yes. Girls draw is tomorrow, and we have a pretty tough sectional. I had it somewhere, and, you know, Tippin Columbians in there, they're pretty good, but really at the top of the heap is a team that beat us pretty handily to start the season, and that was Norwalk. And last I checked, Norwalk is 17-1, guys, and they are, you know, we might, if we're fortunate enough to get to them, they're actually 18-1 right now, 9-0 in the SBC, and they're just pounding teams up and down. So if we're fortunate enough to get past, you know, first couple of opponents, we might be facing Norwalk in the district championship.
Thanks for the SBC. I know the superintendent's going to love this next time.
Here we go.
Is there any chance that the OCC could rival the SBC's delivery of information and stats on the website? Because it is undefeated.
I can certainly reach out to the commissioner of the OCC about what you're asking. As far as me getting you an answer on whether it will happen.
No, you can't do it right now. I understand.
So that's my professional answer.
It's amazing what they do there. That South, or what is it? What's the S stand for? SBC?
Sandusky Bay Conference.
That's it. Thank you. Sandusky Bay Conference website's amazing.
they're fueled by Cedar Point's
I think it's
financials.
They have a lot of financials up there. Yeah. I rode that one ride where you fly off the side this year, and I'm not a big rider at Cedar Point. And
wait a second. You fly off the side.
Like
That's
you
a
hang
very
off
good
the
description.
side and you're flying. It's not my thing, man. I'm not much of a roller coaster guy. And I told the Maori clan that I went with, I got a massive pounding headache after that ride, so I skipped town.
That's Chris Mowry right
Yes.
there, just so you know.
That's right.
He's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. You put me in a car at 180, I'll be your guy. But
On the
going up-
Autobahn.
I just did that. Not that speed, but yeah. The Mercedes E320 wagon that they delivered to us from Enterprise was not capable of that speed.
Guys, after today, the Arrows still have some games left, right? We've got quite a few, actually, in a short period of time. We go from New Philly Thursday, Madison today, Ontario on Tuesday, Mansfield Senior on the road Thursday, at Waynedale on Saturday, and then finish up back here in about a week and a half with Crestview. So you've got 5 games in 11 days. You have 6 games in 13 days, or 12 days, something like that. And that's a lot. You're going to have a lot of games heading into that draw, or heading into the sectional.
Hopefully you can stay healthy. Hopefully you can get into a rhythm. And winning obviously breeds winning. So, and don't think that Crestview game doesn't mean something.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, we're going to have that one on the air. Chris will be out on assignment, but we'll have that one on the air against Crestview on the 11th.
Dave Schwartz will be stepping back into this chair, and
Hope so. I've asked. We'll see if he's available. Oh,
you can put Papa Schwartz on there.
He says he's available.
He's in. Good deal. Madiaw posting up down low. Foul called on Clapper. Madiaw going back to the stripe. First amount of signs I've seen in Arrow Arena since the Isaac White days, I think. It's been a long time. Pretty cool gesture here by the Littles here, the Arrow Littles.
Speaking of Isaac White, I believe the Findlay Oilers visit next weekend to Cates Gymnasium, so it'd be great to see him. He's the assistant coach at University of Findlay for their women's team. Always proud of Isaac White and all he's done for Arrow athletics and obviously the boys basketball program. A prolific scorer, a great leader, was part of one of the if not best boys teams ever at Ashland High School.
It's the best team I've ever seen play here inside the school. Look, they got beat by a 7-footer game 1, and Medina that went on to play at Michigan. Madiaw is on fire here. She's now got 7 points, and then they lost to Lima Senior, I believe it was, in the tournament and reel off 22 in a row. 22 in a row, BW.
Ran into Xavier Simpson.
Yes, they did.
Who also went to Michigan.
Is that Greg Simpson's son?
No,
Nephew.
yes.
Nephew.
Okay, yeah.
Nephew. Former Ohio State Buckeye, Greg Simpson.
Gosh, he could have been so good.
Head coach of Lima Senior that year was Greg Simpson. Might have had a handful of team members staying in the Simpson house.
Hey, whatever works for you. Whatever you feel like your conscience will permit.
We still got that happening in 2022 up at Massillon, Washington. Speaking of them, we had a little bit of issue there with some of their runs and linemen from LaSalle.
Look, if there's a 7-footer that wants to come into our district, he can come live at 912 Berry Avenue.
That was one of the unwise things you've done.
That's a long list, Chris. Hey, the Arrows are about to pull out the first OCC championship ever for this girls program.
So awesome. Can't wait for that horn to sound. Here goes all the ladies down there standing up. Dan Chandler is letting everybody know about it. And the OCC champions, the Lady Arrows of Ashland High School, have won a conference championship outright for the first time in 30 years.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, guys. Great job by this girls squad. And congratulations to Coach Renee Holt and her staff and all of these young ladies who have done just a great job tonight getting themselves the victory here against a pesky Madison squad. We'll take a break and be back with a nice long Janny postgame show right after this.
Madison Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill.
Back here in the Janny.com Arrows postgame show. Arrows victorious 54-34. They move to 14-4, 10-1 in the OCC. Still one more to go against Mansfield Senior. As you see our ladies cutting down the nets here at Arrow Arena. Laney McNamara. And there comes Cam Cox. What a fantastic afternoon of basketball. And the Arrows are just so excited, and so are we. Checking out to see if we can get our couple of our ladies from the squad going to come up and talk with us, along with Coach Holt. We talked about our Bo Lacey turning point and our Bo Lacey hustle play of the game, brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time. Doors, windows, siding, whatever it is you need, folks, they've got you covered. The Arrows here in the postgame show, brought to you by Janney Financial. And there's CC Sturry about to go up and cut her piece of the net. Brandon Wells and Chris Mowry here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth. And Chris, this is pretty exciting to see.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anytime you can check off goal number one, you know, I know Steve mentioned about, you know, Coach Hess and Valentine, all these guys. And, you know, I don't care what team it is, your number one goal is to take care of business in your house. And your house is your conference, right? And these ladies were able to do that. You see Kennedy Lacey here, well-deserved piece of net, going to go back to her house, and she was a main cog in this turnaround and revitalization of Arrow basketball, to be very candid and honest, as were most of these players, and, you know, players that came before. And this is a, you know, look, when I started around Arrow football, it wasn't on the greatest of you know, runs, right? It was kind of rough, and then Scotty V comes in, and you set a culture. You hear it all the time, culture. He set that. Set expectations, and you win, and it's catapulted for 20 years of success in the fall for the football team here at Ashland High School. And let's hope that this, you know, kind of kicks something off as well, and it becomes, you know, not, you know, rare that they're able to win a conference crown.
Well, yeah, and, you know, one of the things that we have going for us is our coach has an understanding of what it is like to be part of a program and not just a team, right? Because a program versus a team is a whole different thing. Everybody has a team. Not everybody has a program. And if you can kind of find some sustained success and develop that culture that you're talking about, Chris, and the Arrows, you know, have an opportunity to do that here. And there's Coach Holt, her staff, who I'm sure are super proud of their young ladies, as well they should be.
You know, it's one other thing, too. You got to have players, right? There's no question about it. You know, the coach isn't going out there and playing. But the reality is, when you have success, you breed that to the younger generation. And there's little girls over here that are seeing this. And that is awesome. And the same thing with football. You know, they grew up watching Taylor Housewright and Fuller and Zach Bernhardt and Chris Thomas and all these other guys, football analogy, and say, well, I want to do that. I want to run out of the helmet. I want to run through the steam or whatnot, the smoke machine. And it's just, you know, it takes something to change a pattern in the history, right? And let's hope, again, that this is the thing that changes it. And Coach Holt and this squad can continue going. And the reality is, they lose Lainey McNamara, they lose Lauren Green, and they
Ryland.
lose Maudiaw. So they lose 3 seniors, but hey, man, on paper, you think they got a pretty good chance potentially next year as well.
Yeah, they do, and you're right, and it's fun to think about what that looks like here for the next few years, and then that next round of girls sees this success, and you said it, Chris, success breeds success. And I think, Mr. Paramore talked about that as well. It really does, and when young girls are here watching and seeing all of this and seeing the success that this squad is having, then it's just so natural to want, to sort of see the same thing.
You want yours, right? You want your turn.
Yeah, and that's pretty valid, right?
I lived it in my house. Camden, golf was his best sport. And, well, you're going to play golf at Ashland High School on the guys' side. You better be pretty good, right? And, the superintendent came before him, Chris Yoder, and so many others. And they're just really, really good. And, it was something the bar was high, something to live up for. And Coach Holt and staff have obviously set a new bar, let's say it that way, here inside our arena, and it feels like Abe Chandler spot on cue here with We Are the Champions playing inside Air Arena. Hey, you're joining us on the Janney postgame show presented by Janney in Mansfield. Check out Rich Sturry at Janney.com for all your financial needs. We'll have the Truex printing player of the game. That's Kennedy Lacey joining us as well. And then we're going to have a litany, BW, 50-cent word from me, a litany of players join us post-game. Renee Holt pulls down the last piece of the net and gets an opportunity to celebrate with her squad. So awesome. She's excited. Brandon, she's as excited right there as she was when she was 22 hoisting a trophy.
Well, and it's funny. I'm a little emotional just being excited for them out there. So they've worked really hard. This program has worked really hard over the last couple years, and individually and corporately as a group. And Coach talked about at the beginning of the year about, her development as a coach and what that has looked like. And it's been fun to watch and be a part of as the broadcast team. This Arrows squad with the first OCC championship ever and the first conference championship for girls basketball since 94-95, the Ohio Heartland Conference.
If you're wondering, guys out there watching this, what this means, look at the stands. Look who's still here. Look at the floor. Look who's out there taking pictures. That's not just all moms and dads. That's community members that this team has meant something to, and that's awesome. When you have a chance to resonate and connect with the community through sports, I think that's what it's all about, right? We're here to build better people, and we can do that through sports, and this team is displaying it, and that's pretty awesome, to say the least.
Well, congratulations to the Arrows. The championship win. Still more games to go in the season, more to go here on the postgame show. Back after this.
Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code. Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your...
Welcome back to the Janney postgame show. Check out Rich Sturry at Janney.com over at Mansfield for all your financial needs. I'm Chris Mowry, that's Brandon Wells, and this is Truax Printing Player of the Game, Kennedy Lacey. You know, your game was good today. Let's get out of the game. I mean, what's this mean to you? How awesome is
Oh,
this?
it means really everything. You know, we've been fighting for this all season long, and this is the end goal, and we got it. We got what we wanted.
So, I'm going to turn it over to Brandon in a second, but I have one question more.
Don't turn it over to me.
What, you know, the emotion was huge on Thursday.
Yeah.
The building was full on Thursday. You've got parents talking about it and family and this, that, and the other, and we've been talking about it up here all season long, and I said, and I mean this, and you may not realize it at 15, 16 years old, but pressure is a privilege. And it means a lot when you have pressure on you because it means that you're playing for something that matters.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So what was the message to turn over from Thursday to today to keep the focus on the mission at hand and come away with a victory today?
I think we definitely took that hurt and that pain on Thursday that we felt after the game, and we put it into this game, and we knew that coming out we were going to put everything into this game today to win the OCC. Yeah.
It was obvious. My biggest concern, one of the keys that we had, was to avoid the hangover, right? And from Thursday, and you guys did that as our man Zach Truax comes up and says,
Falcons, right
congratulations to Kennedy Lacey.
I might be the voice of the Falcons, but I am the sponsor.
Of the Truax Printing Player of the Game.
Yes. This is so perfect.
Hang on, hang tight 1 second.
If you look, Zach Truax is going to join us, and you see the Truax Printing Player of the Game, Mr. Truax. You got a question for Kennedy Lacey?
Kenny Lacey. So,
do you know Zach?
Yeah,
a little bit. So, I don't know if you guys asked this, but this is what I want to know. What was that journey like, going from where you were to where you are now as champions?
Well, thinking about last year, starting in last year.
Yeah. I mean, you know, coming in my freshman year, I always heard about them not being like the best and whatever, but I think I definitely looked at that as a challenge. The end goal was to win the OCC sometime in my high school career. And, you know, I was fighting every day, you know, in the summer, preseason, off-season, everything like that. I think it all adds up to where we are now. And, you know, doing the extra stuff, the little things definitely add up and to getting where we are today. So,
Yeah, you should have seen emotion in this game.
Yeah.
It's hard for me not to get emotional.
Oh, I was getting emotional on the air either earlier. It's great.
When you've been where people been and had to work so hard to improve, you really appreciate it. So.
Yes.
Good job, kid. Thank you, Zach, for joining. Thanks for being a sponsor all season long. And, you know, Zach's right. It's like we feel the emotion that's emanating from you guys.
Yeah.
And I think the hard part that I will tell you guys is to not have a letdown after this even going forward. You still have 3 more games and then the OHSAA. The draw is tomorrow. One last question, because we want to get more of y'all on up here. What's the expectation the rest of the way?
Oh, keep winning. Just keep winning. Keep going. Don't let the foot off the gas. Just keep going.
You get a Applebee's gift card, and you're not taking that headset off until you do one thing that I make both Lacey children do before they leave.
Boy.
Hi, Katie.
We'll be right back with more Kennedy's teammates right after this.
Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Low Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like.
Welcome back to Arrow Arena. We're joined by senior Lainey McNamara. If I told you your freshman year, after some hard times that this group has had and this program's had, that when your senior year, you guys are going to be OCC champions, what would you tell me?
I would have laughed right in your face. Not even kidding you.
You wouldn't have been the first person to laugh in his face, but what has that journey been like for the last 4 years?
There's been definitely ups and downs, but there's nothing you can do besides go up. Even when you're having a hard day, I have the best teammates, the best coaches, and they're right beside me the whole time, and just even when we do have our bad days, they end good.
You guys had a tough loss on Thursday against a good new Philly team.
Yeah.
What was the message between then and today that made you guys come out and play so well today?
To respond. You can't dwindle on something without responding back. So that's definitely what we did tonight. We all came out together and we were ready to respond.
What's the one thing that, is going to stick with you from this season outside of, winning the OCC, and we'll see where you guys are able to go in the tournament.
Yeah.
But what was the one thing that you're going to be like in 20 years? I remember that.
I keep going back to the bond because I've never been a part of a team like this before. The bond is unbreakable on the court and off, and that's really important.
Well, when you got a team and you got people who care about each other, you can be dangerous, and this Ashland High School basketball team is dangerous. Lainey McNamara, the senior from Ashland High School, joins us. We'll be right back with another player right after this.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, they're coming fast and furious right now, BW.
Yeah,
here they are. We've got
rapid fire.
Junior Cameron Cox joins us.
You pull that mic down just a little bit. There you go. You got it. I like that you already have the piece of net.
Thank you.
In the ear.
It's a good look for you, Cam.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
4 points for you today, but I think it must have been 14 rebounds or something.
Yeah.
Was that the focus when you don't see the ball going in the goal, but then you're like, you know what, I can help because of my rebounding ability?
Contribute in another way.
Absolutely.
You guys came off a tough loss Thursday. A big crowd. There's a big crowd today, right? And you guys played well Thursday. Just New Philly played a little better. It happens, right? What was the message, and what did you guys hear between Thursday and today that made you guys play so well?
Play our basketball, and we were confident that we could come out on top. So we just needed to do that today, secure it today.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, this has been the team goal. This was the team goal last year, right? When you had all this collection of girls get together and start playing, and didn't happen last year. But this year you win one, you win another, you go down to West Holmes and win, and then you take care of business against Lex, and you really stomp on Senior High, and now it looks like, wow. And then we go down and beat New Philly at their place, and 7-0 is 8-0 is 9-0, and at what point did you say, you know what, we've got this. We just need to do this, this, or this, and we're going to be OCC champions?
I think before we even started playing, honestly. As a team, we played all summer together, and we knew going into it that we were so capable and we had to perform.
Got a few games left, and then the tournament, the draw is tomorrow. What's the kind of atmosphere, the message for your team going forward, you think?
I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there.
All right. I like it. Cameron Cox joins us. Thanks for jumping on. Great game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We'll just keep them rolling.
Yeah,
Rapid
absolutely.
fire. Cameron Cox with a fantastic performance here this afternoon at Arrow Arena. And now Maddie Hoffman, and Maddie jumps in. Maddie, you jumped back into the starting lineup. First, let me just say congratulations on winning the conference, right?
Thank you.
Pretty awesome, right? I don't want to skip past that, right? Yeah. You jumped back into the starting lineup tonight. You played well on Thursday. You played well today. What was it like coming off the bench on Thursday, playing so well in a tough loss, and then making that switch back to the starting lineup today?
No different. It's just you just got to go out there and play basketball. I don't see a difference in starting and then coming off the bench. You just got to go out there and play.
That's a good answer. Well done.
For the first quarter, you were hot again. You had 9 points in the first quarter. I think you had 11 points in the first quarter, 9 or 11 points in the first quarter on Thursday. You know, when you get those feet set, man, you are deadly. And the shoulders are square to the goal, and the ball just looks great out of your fingertips. It's going in. You know, I guess I wanted to follow up one more time on Brandon's comment. And it's more of a fatherly thing because, you know, he and I both have kids. But when something doesn't go your way, you have two ways you can respond. You can pout or you can say, you know what, I'm going to help my team.
Right.
And I can't tell you how proud of you I am that you didn't sulk, you didn't pout when you went and became the first player off the bench. You did what you could do to help your team, and that is a sign of maturation. That's a sign of good discipline in your house, and you've learned and paid attention. You know, very much like your brother, and congratulations. That means, as a dad who's got kids, that means more to me than, you know, cutting down that net, and that's something that'll serve you for a lifetime. So,
yeah, for sure.
Well done. Good job by you.
Thank you very much.
You got the draw tomorrow for the tournament. You know, you got some good teams, including Norwalk in your tournament. I know we still have a few games still before we get to the tournament, but what do we have to work on the next week or so before the tournaments?
Passing, I would say. We're a little rough on passing recently, but we've been kind of focusing on it and practice a little bit more. Just like not forcing it in the paint and getting it rotated around the outside and then looking in. I think that's the biggest thing that we're just missing. But after that, I think we have a good chance to get a good run in the tournament this year. So
Bring them on, right?
Yeah.
Bring them all on.
Right.
Let's go. Let's see how it goes. Maddie Hoffman joins us. 9 points today and an OCC champion. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. My bad. Good job. Awesome job. Well done. CC Sturry joins us. I'm going to turn over to Brandon in a second, but here's an ode to your dad. You've taken 2 charges, one on Thursday, one today.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the first 2 charges taken by any member of the Sturry house ever. You've got to be proud of that.
Yeah.
That's rough. This is a small town, so people make rough comments. That's what happens.
That was a little ode to Grayson, who never found himself on the dirt ever. And then, you know, anyways, I just wanted to let you know that so that you can use that as fodder against Sister Alyssa and Grayson and Dad for eternity.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on the OCC championship. You're a sophomore, and you've won your first. I say first, so I think there could be more coming, right? There's a little different expectation after you win one, but what was the key here today against Madison to bounce back after the tough loss Thursday?
We wanted to push the ball because we could score better and easier as us running down the court rather than them setting up in the defense, and I think we did that and just play like how we usually play, and move the ball and look down low and just make the one more pass to get the good shot.
Well, I think your defense was really good equally today, too. You know, your team defense, whether you were in that 2-3 or man-to-man or whatever.
Only gave up 34 points.
That's pretty darn good, too. And, you know, it was a good all-around team win. Quick thought, what does this mean to you to win an OCC conference? Something, you know, you guys had a lot of success in junior high. You had a lot of success in your summer teams. You had success a little bit last year. What's it mean to you right now to be OCC champion?
It means a lot, especially after hearing like how much the older girls fought for this, and I'm glad they won it as well. It means a lot just for a team because of all the practices we've been through in the summer, all the open gyms we go to. I think we deserve it because of all the hard work we put in.
Well, congratulations, CC Sturry, on the OCC championship. Celebrate. Do it well, like take care of yourselves, get healthy, get ready for the next week and a half, and then a nice run in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Well, we've had about 4 of them, BW. That's been a lot of fun. This is the best part of the show. You know, when we won the crown in football and, you know, we just went girl to girl to girl to girl, or guy to guy to guy. Sorry, it was awesome. And the same thing here. And when you see dreams come to reality and they're successful, it's really awesome. And Grace Tobias joins us now. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got to be over the moon, they say.
We are all over the moon.
Absolutely.
Way over.
Well, you guys had a great win today, and I know Thursday was tough. You guys played really well on Thursday, and you played even better today. What was the message, and how did you guys avoid that kind of hangover after a tough loss Thursday?
Just come back stronger. We know what's on the line. We want this. We wanted this. And just come back stronger.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm impressed with the way you play out there as a fellow point guard and the way you're scrapping out there and playing on both ends. I know it's always tough to go back and forth and start some games and sit and then come off the bench in some games. I did that a lot my senior year, to be honest. I started about a third of the games and came off the bench in the others. And it's tough. It's difficult. But you came out and you gave the same energy, good work. What's the message in there, going forward, whether you're in the starting lineup or on the bench?
Overall, I get to be here. I get to play for this team. I get to play for Renee, someone who I've looked up to for a long time, and I get to play with these girls. So
that's a great response. That's a very mature response.
We get no more questions after that.
That's
that was
it.
fantastic.
No, drop the mic. That's when you just pull it off and drop the mic, Grace. So good job. Congratulations on the championship. Go get some rest and celebrate.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How about that maturity for a response?
Listen,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, you say sometimes kids are mature more, beyond their years, and that was probably a good example of that. And Lauren Green's going to join us here in just a second, and another one of the three seniors on this squad, Lauren Green, joins us. Lauren, you're a senior. You've been a part of this program now for 4 years. What does this mean to you?
This is awesome. That hasn't won for 30 years, and this is the team that's done it. We just all Mary. This is a special moment for us, and we're just trying to take it in.
So, tough one on Thursday, clearly. Obviously, the place was packed, and the emotion was high, and the pressure was huge, and, it wasn't the outcome you wanted, right? Obviously. Yep. What did it take, and you're a senior, you're a leader, you're a captain, I'm sure, to say, okay, hey, guys, we got another chance to do this. Let's go take care of business. We want to do it on our home floor. And, you guys were able to do that today. What was the message that maybe you relayed, Coach Holt relayed, whatnot, to kind of re-huddle you guys together?
Well, we were just we got this in the bag. That was an unfortunate loss, but we got to keep our heads up and keep going because we had the OCC in our hands still. There was no reason to be down about it, so. Yeah, we just came back, worked hard in practice, and here we are. We won the game.
The truth is, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, right? And then Thursday was New Philly just played a little better.
Yeah.
We didn't play bad; they played well.
We're off fundamentally, so we came in aggressively. There was some bad some bad goals.
yeah, maybe a little bit.
In my opinion, so yeah.
Well, congratulations. You have been a part of this program for 4 years, and you stuck it out, and it takes a lot of grit to do that. Not everybody has the grit to go through the tough times to get to see the good times.
Yeah. Uncle Todd even watched today.
Oh, did he?
He did.
How about that?
Roll Tide.
That's awesome.
He watched from down Burn Tide Burn.
You can give him a Roll Tide if you want.
Okay. Roll Tide, Todd.
We'll be right back with another player. Good job.
Good job, Lauren. Good work. Oh, boy. It's the post-game show brought to you by Janny.com.
I think it's Renee that's the only one left.
I think it's Coach Holt that will be coming up, the final guest here on the Janny post-game show. Don't forget tonight at 7-ish, we'll say, the boys will be taking on Massillon, Washington. We'll have that one as well.
She gonna wear the necklace up here, B-Dub?
I don't know.
She should.
She had it on. I don't blame her if she did, right? The arrows.
She's gonna wear it, or she should wear it. I'll say that.
Well,
this is kind of full circle for you too. You haven't mentioned it yet, and you're too humble. But you called her national title game, her Renee Stempert at that time.
Yep.
And now you get to call Renee Stempert Holt's first OCC conference crown. That's kind of wild in a 5-year, 6-year span.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Renee, congratulations. And it is funny how small sometimes the basketball world is, right? 5 years ago or so, about that, I was calling your national championship game. And here we are. You guys win an OCC championship, and it looked like this meant just about as much as that kind of success.
It it meant a lot because of the work behind the scenes that it took to get here. I came into this program, and I think there were, 1 and 20-something. Or
We won one game the year before. I was a part of that team, but one game, yep.
So I didn't really know what to expect the coaching world was going to throw at me. And, you think going through a couple seasons, like, what am I doing wrong? And you get through those headaches, those hiccups, and to be where we're at right now is just so rewarding. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, you said it in the preview show that you had learned a lot over the last couple years and changed some things and made some adjustments, and that's just part of whatever the job is. But coaching and learning that on the fly is difficult. You guys lost a tough one Thursday against New Philly. I'm not going to dwell on that one. It wasn't that we played terrible. New Philly played really well, and we made a few mistakes. You did a fantastic job of getting this team ready to play today. What was the message to avoid the hangover that can happen after an emotional loss like that on Thursday?
How were we going to respond? We had the share right there against New Philly, and it was a big game. The lights were a little brighter for our youngsters. But to come in today, and see that first quarter, that's how we wanted to respond. And to win this outright is, it's what the girls put in the preseason, the off-season, all the lines they ran. They wanted it so bad.
What's the message to keep them centered? Obviously, you got goal number anytime.
That's right, because the season's not over.
Yeah, number one goal for any team is to win their conference, right? You take care of your house, right? Your conference is your house. You guys have done that. But how do you say, okay, let's celebrate, let's have fun, let's pass the necklace around the net and have fun, but you know what? We'll be back in practice tomorrow because we got to keep going, and all the goals are not checked. You got a chance to win a sectional crown. You could potentially win a district crown. Who knows where you're going to go ultimately? What's it going to be the message, though, with this team having success as you go forward?
I think, looking at the seniors we have, Lauren, Laney, and Brylan, and what they've went through. Right now, we were just an OCC crown. That's all we kind of talked about, to be honest. So kind of shifting their gears, and maybe we'll have an atmosphere like we did the other night and win that sectional crown and keep going. So I don't think they've really ever went deep into the tournament. So it's going to be a whole new ball game, just like today was for this OCC crown. So just one game at a time, I think.
Congratulations on the win. Make sure you enjoy it, celebrate a little bit, and get some rest because you guys have a lot of games in this stretch.
Yeah.
Really proud of you. Good work today.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Brandon and I will be back to put a bow on this one right after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealership.
Arrows OCC champions for the 2024-2025 season. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. They defeat Madison by a 20-burger, 54-34. You heard from player of the game, Trex pointing player of the game, Kennedy Lacey, a host of her teammates, Coach Holt. One thing that I'm going to remember for some time, and the voice of the Falcons and I are very, very dear friends. If you don't know, that is an action. That's a fact. We tease each other relentlessly. And, we talked about sports a long time, and I gave him the headset, the post game, and the emotion on his face, and what it means to be the underdog, right? And to come from an area where you have to work really hard and you have to say, my gosh, the mountain is so big and we've got West Holmes and we got New Philly and we got all these other ones. And to climb the peak and become the top dog on the mountaintop is really awesome. You saw it from Zach, and you've heard it out of my voice. You've heard it from Brandon, and, it's awesome. I mean, there's no other words. It's awesome.
I had to choke back some tears, which is weird, right? I mean, I'm an emotional person. It's who I am. But I kind of had to choke back some tears because, Renee, alluded to it that, she took over after – the year that Dave Swartz and I was a volunteer assistant coach and helped out that year. We only won one game. It was tough times there for a few years, and we had some lean years, and to see this get built up is just so rewarding to see, and even just to be an ancillary part of it as a broadcaster and an analyst, and as a board member that was part of the process of hiring Renee and all of that kind of thing, and couldn't be more proud of her and the growth she's had as a coach. And this team just did so well. And, I'm saying that like the season's over. The season's not over, right? And, again, the hard part now is going to be
turn the page.
And I think the way you have to look at that is now you're playing with house money. So that should take the edge off. It should take the pressure off. And I think that's the message if I'm Coach Holt, is to say, hey, guys, we hit our goal of winning the conference championship. Everything else is house money. We can play loose and free and play the way that we're capable and come out and have an opportunity to make a run in the OHSAA. And that starts with finishing the season well with this next 3 or 4 games that are remaining on the schedule.
Brandon and I will be back to have the boys game against Massillon Washington Tigers. We'll have those guys tonight. That's going to be a barn burner. Massillon can pick them up, put them down in a hurry. They score 76.5 points on average. That wasn't a miscalculation, on average for a game. So we'll have that one later. But for Steve Paramore, for Brandon Wells, I'm Chris Mowry signing off with the OCC champion, Lady Arrows. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed, and go Arrows!